Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of international rugby. 2-0 at the moment. The Tours are sitting for the Northern Hemisphere. We did see the monumental win for Ireland over the All Blacks, and then also England being able to get themselves a win over the Wallabies. Can the Springboks turn it around for the Southern Hemisphere? That is the big question on everyone's mind, but I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're excited for this contest. Wales and South Africa, they are currently sitting 1-1, which does mean that it is all on the line for this third test. It's taking place from Cape Town Stadium. It's going to be a cracker, and it is only about 30 minutes away from getting underway. But I hope you guys are all well. Like I mentioned, hope you have been enjoying all of the international rugby that we have got. It's a huge day when it comes to North versus South, and this is the South African side that they have put out for this match. Trevor Nakanye makes his way into the starting lineup after an impressive performance in the last match up against Wales. Bongi Mbonambi, he will be bringing up his 50th test cap for the Springboks, but there is a bigger milestone coming a little bit later on. We will get to him in a very short moment. Frans Malherbe will be there at number 3. Then Eben Etzebeth. This man has been playing for the Springboks for a long time, and he has now got himself his 100th Springbok cap. So a huge congratulations to Etzebeth. Hoping he does have a big game here. Alongside him in the locks, it will be Ludi Jager looking through at the loose board trio. Sia Khaleesi starts at number 6. Peter Steph-Totoy at 7 after recently returning from his injury. And then number 8, they have gone Jesper Wiese. Hey, brother, how are you? Says Junior Ryder. I'm doing extremely well, mate. Excited, buzzing for this game. I want to see a massive performance from the Boks. I want to see a massive game from the Welsh as well. I don't like this grass, says Nazir there. And I just watched the AB's highlights again. Quite a few questionable calls by the ref. Keeps your heads up, AB, says Hanger 8. Yeah, at the end of the day, we were beaten by Ireland, but it was a well-deserved victory for the Irish in that one. I think the Boks will win. Damn, they better win, says Hanger 8. Yeah, if it's 3-0 to the Northern Hemisphere, I did mention about the fact that if all Northern Hemisphere teams win this final round, I have to shave the mustache, which would be very unfortunate because we've had it pretty much for the length of the channel. Did you get my last second donation in your last stream? I did indeed. If you do want to put a random message, it's in just in the chat here, Distracted Sports, that I put up on the screen, do put it straight through, because I did see it right when we ended. It came through, and if the stream didn't cut it off, which I think it did, I went, oh no. And that was just when it slashed. But thank you very much for your generosity on that live stream. Well, it's hugely appreciated. Jaden Hendrickse, he'll be starting at number 9. That is rather than Faf de Klerk, will be coming off the bench. So for all that, I would say we're going to see a little bit more of an attacking game from the Springboks at times throughout this fixture, while also incorporating that box kick alongside Andre Pollard, who is going to be starting at number 10. So Elton Yankees, ever since that first match, he has disappeared from the Springboks lineup, never to be seen again, perhaps for the Boks. Then Damien Dialende and Lukanyuan will be in the midfield. Makazole Mapimpi, a man who I think has a very good chance of being able to score the try. Cheslin Colby is going to be there out on the right wing, returning into the starting lineup. And then number 15 for this match, it is Damian Willemse, who I felt played one of the best games out of any Springbok player in that first test match. And next is your here, Hamish. Stop making those bets, says Hanger at. And good luck, Box, says Betty. And also, you're a legend, Distracted Sports. He is indeed. That is for certain. For certain, I just said, but for certain and all good chance. No worries at all, says Distracted Sports. I mean, if you want to give yourself a self-promotion or anything like that for me to pop up on the screen, go for it. In fact, Sebastian, you know what to do. Be sure to put Distracted Sports link in the description if you don't mind too much, as he has got some decent content over there. If you like dick jokes and you do enjoy a little bit of talk all about rugby, that is the place to go. Sorry if that is not how you want it to be, I guess, promoted. Distracted. And also, hey, Hamish and everyone in Wales will get a hiding today. 42-7 final score, says Anton, and give credit where it's due. Ireland with a better team. But question now is, where do we go from here? Do you think it will be the right call to get rid of Foster now or not? It says Junior Ryder. That's a very good question. For me, I think they're going to hold off just a little bit longer. They'll let the dust settle, and they'll let kind of the rage that some people are feeling towards the coaching staff and Sam Cane, they might just have it go a little bit quieter and then make their big decisions before the Rugby Championship. Hold on to Kanye as a loose head prop. Yep, so he is pretty much, he's very versatile. He can go tight head, he can go loose head, whatever side he's on. Is absolutely brilliant. And with who to replace him, says Hanger at. And also great description of the channel, says Distracted Sports here. And also good luck, Box, says Betty now. Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely awesome match. But this is the Welsh side that has been selected for this contest. Gareth Thomas, Ryan Elias, and Dylan Lewis as the front row. Then it will be Will Rollins, Adam Baird as the loose, or sorry, not for the loose, as the locks in this contest. So once again, going with Alan Jones off the bench. Then it is going to be at number 6, Lydia gets a slot in there. Number 7, Tommy Raffle. And then number 8, Talupe Faletau, a man who I feel has played pretty well for Wales throughout this competition. Kieran Hardy is there at number 9, Dan Bigger at 10. So that will be an important combo. And once again, the same as it was last week. And also Razor Robinson has to be him, says junior rider. Also Nick Tompkins and George North as the midfield. Now, some people have said that George North, he needs to pass the ball, distribute it a little bit better in this. That says a rugby selection for you. It's basically luck of the draw for the poor forward, says Hanger at. So I guess big question for you guys from South Africa. Is this the side that you would have selected for South Africa? It's a nice mix of the young and the old, I guess you could say. Ebenezer Bev, 100 caps in there. Also off the bench, a little bit of experience with the likes of Malcolm Marks. Slotting in there, Peter Lower said, how's it, Hamish? Doing very well, mate. And brothers, I'll behave day, says Peter. There's no worries at all. And Wales is going to win this. Says Strike and Hey, says Kyle. Hope you are doing well. And Bok from Floyd. And yes, says Nom. And come on, the Bok and pressure for the Southern Hemisphere on our box, says Nazia. That is true, but something that they were talking about before this match is anytime the Springboks feel pressure, that is when they play their best rugby. Whether it's the British and Irish Lions or going down for that first match, whether it is going to be going down to the All Blacks in the first contest, they fought back and they got themselves a second win. They love the pressure, the Springboks. Just look at the World Cup. They did very nicely. First team ever to lose a game in a pool stage and then go on to win that World Cup. And then the wingers for the Welsh, I should mention, Josh Adams at number 11, Lewis Rees-Zammit at 14, and then Liam Williams will be there at number 15. But do let me know what names are sticking out for you guys in terms of who you feel will be able to have the best performance here for South Africa and for Wales. Malcolm Marks off the bench, he is right up there for myself, of course. The super sub, I like to call him, the way that he plays. Stephen Kitsoff and Vincent Koch going to be there at number 17 and 18. Franco Mostert as the replacement lock, although he might actually slot into a loose forward role depending on how fatigued we get to see some of these Springbok players. If all 4 Southern Hemisphere to lose to the Rugby Championship will be quite interesting, says No Moment. Well, indeed, I will have a bare face because my mustache will be hiding for that one. And pressure on the Southern Hemisphere on our box. And greetings, a wounded Springbok is a dangerous one. Go Bocky. Says reality always wins. Exactly right. And also, hi, keep lad, my Joshua did France versus Japan, a rugby play two-day test, or today, third test. They didn't actually have a match-up, but instead, I believe that it is going to be Romania taking on Uruguay as one of the matches. Alongside that, we've got Chile versus USA as another game that has taken place for the slightly lower teams. And then there is one other, Georgia versus Portugal, I think is the other one. And Box will win this game comfortably. Etzebeth will have a big game. And it's Foster playing, says Nazi Williams, not that I know of for this contest, but Quaka Smith and Heinrich Lowe as the 2 other replacement forwards for South Africa. Faf de Klerk and Willie LaRue, combination of great experience for those 2 coming off the bench in the later stages of this contest. I would think that more than likely Faf de Klerk has to be about a maybe 60-minute sub, whereas Halfpenny, the fullback, I know that he was there for last year's internationals, but unfortunately ended up with an injury, Lee Halfpenny, pretty much from the first minute up against Argentina. And from there, I haven't actually seen him back in a Springbok kit, or in a Welsh kit, I should say, which is quite disappointing because he was a great player when he was playing. And SA Southern Hemisphere last hope, says Floyd, although we cannot discount Argentina. Of course, they are going to be going head-to-head with Scotland in the later stages of the evening, and we are going to be live for when they do go head-to-head with the Scottish, so be sure to check that out. And also Wales to cause chaos, get the upset win, like all the other games today, says Aiden, and I've got to go to sleep. Good luck, Box. Have fun, team, says Distracted Sports. So we will see you later on, mate. And first half, almost done in the Georgia versus Portugal fixture. Portugal are actually holding their own. And Sebastian, yeah, they're a decent side, Portugal. They probably don't get as much credibility in some regards as some of the other sides, just because I guess we don't really talk about them too much here because we don't play them much. But Portugal, they are a good side alongside Spain. Looking forward to what they can do in the future. Dewey Lake, Wyn Jones, and Sam Wainwright as the front row replacements for Wales. Alan Wyn Jones, Josh Navidi. Then it is Thomas Williams, Gareth Anscombe, and Owen Watkin as the replacement backs. And also we have got Books and our All Blacks, or Box and our All Blacks seem to be having similar problems this year, says William. And something I'll mention is the All Blacks' first tactic of that game up against Ireland, kicking the ball back into the hands of Ireland. It actually felt very similar to what we saw in the first match between South Africa and Wales, that kicking the ball back into possession of the Welsh. But Wales were actually running the ball a lot more often than a lot of people anticipated. I think that's the combination that they need to get right, Springboks here. They can go for those kicks, of course, but you've got to make sure you're chasing them hard. Chisel and Colby and Makazole Mapimpi, they will be all over it like a rash. Emin Etzebeth, If he needs to glide through the air, he certainly will. Northern Dominance is here, says Floyd Kingy, and yes, they are very strong. I'd say it's a 90% chance that Portugal win the repechage and book a ticket to the Rugby World Cup, says Sebastian there. Yeah, it would be pretty awesome to see it take place. They are just showing the Springbok changing room currently. The players out on the field warming up, getting ready to go, and also could be short for many things. And there as well says hanging around for FB. And there, but Bongi Manambi, his 50th cap for the Springboks. So very impressive from him. Eben Etsabev, he's added an extra number on the end, though. He is going to be playing his 100th test. And before the match did get underway quite a wee while ago, they were talking about the fact that he has got potential of being the most capped Springbok around, because he is only the age of 30 and he's still got plenty of time left for him in his career. But Sia Khaleesi, the captain of the Springboks, he'll be hoping to step up in this contest, because if the Springboks win, they win the series, and it's the first win for a Southern Hemisphere side of this international kind of window for the tours. And also wait till the World Cup, Floyd. I see who dominates then, says Nazi Williams. And there as well. And speaking of, I guess, World Cups and whatnot, the Sevens World Cup actually happening later on this year alongside the Women's Rugby World Cup. We will be covering both of those on the channel. So if you guys are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you do want to help us out, it is a channel membership. You get exclusive emojis to use in the chat at the moment. This is a huge game. Wales winning their first ever contest in South Africa last week. Now they have got the opportunity to do exactly what Ireland did and win 2 games in a row and win a series on South African soil. The last time that we saw South Africa lose a series in South Africa, 2 games in a row, it's probably very similar to what we saw with the All Blacks. How it has been probably a good 20 years or so. And Kiwi lads, who do you think will win the 2022 World Cup? Says Tristan there. So are we talking the Sevens or the Women's World Cup? Tristan there for 2022. And also, when's the first, the Rugby Championship match, lads? I believe it's about the 8th of August. And it will be South Africa taking on Argentina. No. South Africa taking on Australia, and New Zealand versus Argentina, I think, is the first round. I'll just have a quick look, make sure I can confirm it. And this is the full might of the Springboks, says reality always wins. And yeah, compared to the little bit of an inexperienced lineup that they did have last week, Eben Etsabev, the only man who has started all of the competitions. And Women's World Cup, I think, for one, New Zealand have a decent crack just because they're normally pretty strong. But the big thing is England are one of those sides that certainly cannot be ruled out of that next contest for the Women's Rugby World Cup, because they have been playing very well and they beat New Zealand in their most recent performance. Same with France, doing nicely. AB's 8th at the World Cup, says Floyd Kingy. And there as well. But at the moment, talking to the South African head coach, I think I heard earlier on someone mentioned that they are going to go for a little bit more of a preservative approach for the start of this match, try and have a feeling out process and work out exactly what type of Welsh side we're going to see. I'm not too sure what we're going to get here today. And hello. There's Johan, welcome, and mate. England or Black Ferns agreed. And then the Northern Hemisphere has only won 1 World Cup. They can win a game or a series away. But if it was the World Cup, the ABs would have gone through. So with the Aussies and South Africa, they all won their first game, says Hanger Rap. So the first Rugby Championship game, it is going to be it's the big one. It's South Africa versus New Zealand. And that is going to be on the 7th of August, 3:05 a.m. New Zealand time. We will be up and we will be watching that contest, that is for sure. So only 3 weeks away from getting there. So as Foster 5, by the way, says Johan, I don't believe he has had his job taken from him yet. And a lot of people have been saying the only way he loses his job is if he resigns. So it's whether or not Ian Foster decides that the team are in, I guess, what you call dire straits. And if they are, then he might have his days numbered. There we go. I just turned down my brightness a little bit so that my shoulder does not become see-through anymore. But they are just showing that starting lineup for South Africa. Etsabev going to be bringing up the 100. Frans Malherbe actually pretty close to getting his 50th cap. And then alongside that, a lot of caps for a huge amount of these Springboks. The thing that surprises me the most is Cheslin Colby and Makazole Mapimpi have actually less than 50 caps combined. And it just shows how strong they are. And some ABs are past it. Says Floyd Kingy there and go box, says Durkee. And there's but it's going to be awesome to see the Springboks in action 3 weeks in a row. It's like Christmas around here, but we are only in July. So we've got quite a bit of time till we do get to the Christmas period. And by the time we're at Christmas, we would have seen an end-of-year Northern Tour with New Zealand. South Africa, we would have seen the Rugby Championship. Springboks, they have made 11 changes to the starting 15 that played in the second test. Nakanye, Etsabev, Toy, Hendrickson, and Pollard are the only players who did retain their spot. And so I guess the Boks are going to take the fury of the ABs after this series. Says Hangarat, and also ABs need to invest in a young team. Barrett and Mwanga are getting old. Who do you think is the best number 10 coming through the ranks? Best number 10, Ruben Love, definitely worth a shout. He is a talented player, and he's only 21 years of age, so he would be one to watch out for. Alongside him, who else have we got? Real young guys at number 10. To be honest, it's probably Ruben Love, if we had to pick one. And also, you want to call this one, Amish? Says Peter Lowe. So for me, I'm going to say the Springboks by between 5 and 10. But we'll go more specifically, Springboks by 8. It's my prediction. And how many times can you kick a goal in a decider? Says Durkee, I believe it's just as many times as you need. Although in this one, I believe it is actually the case of it would just end in a series draw, which for me, I mean, it would still be a massive win for Wales. Little bit disappointing for South Africa because they would have loved to win this series, but they would still take a draw if they needed to. And what's the score? Says Ted, this game is not quite kicked off. We have still got another 15 minutes or so before it gets underway. And also, nice to be with you again. It's really going to be a cracker of a game from Cape Town, South Africa. Says Rashad. So what's the weather looking like? I know that someone mentioned earlier on a bit humid. So a great game just around the corner. A lot of kicking might be involved in the early stages. Bit of a feeling out process. And good day, mate. What a shocker this morning up the Irish. Says Brian, brilliant game from Ireland. The whole series, they have looked the goods, and they have now been rewarded with not just one win, not just 2 wins, but a series win in New Zealand, and I couldn't be happier for them. They played the better rugby of that whole tour, and yeah, they really did deserve it. And the Brumbies, says Steve Murphy, and Brumbies for the win. And also the Mick might have just been rattled, or might have just rattled the AB's cage a little bit too much. I hope not, says Easy Ollie. And also we have got there, congrats to all my Irish brothers and sisters, says Master Mel. And also Wales win easy, says DOC. And expecting a dominant Bok performance today, says Easy Ollie. Sorry, yeah, a lot of people are expecting a massive fire back here from the Springboks, because we're used to seeing when the Springboks are in a little bit of the trickier situations, they always just fire on that next level. What's the score? Says Ted. We have not quite started this match. Not a problem for the Welsh, the humidity. They thrive in the moisture as well. They're just showing a bit of the push and shove that was going on between Chisel and Colby, and also Dan Biggie. He's gotten under the skin of a couple of the Boks. But you'd have to say Big Ebenezer, as soon as he starts running at a Welshman, it's probably going to turn around and go the other way, because he's huge, he's a beast, and he is playing his 100th test match. And Kiwi lads, another solid weekend of rugby. Let's go Springboks. Says Nathan, yeah, we have been absolutely blessed with the amount of rugby we've had, not just today, but just in general over the last month. It's been a huge month, July, and I do appreciate every single one of you for joining us for these live streams. We have got plenty more coming in the future, whether it's the Rugby Championship, whether it's going to be, I guess, the Gallagher Premiership, not too far away from getting back underway. You've also got a whole heap of other ones. Oh, a Springbok coach actually running around with the boys here. He's doing some drills with Franz Malharba. That's nice to see that he is out there on the field trying to fire up his team before they go into battle with the Welsh. Oh, no, not Bok. No Bok going to win, says Alta there. So I guess we are almost up to that stage, ladies and gentlemen. First try of the match. Who are we predicting is the player who will be able to score up? For me, I think Makazole Mapimpi's got it in him. I think he's going to have decent crack. And also, what's the score? Says Dead, still 0-0. Same as before. The game is not kicked off just yet. And hello, says Island Fan. And also, well, no one has the advantage today as far as elevation is concerned. Home ground is all really, says Hanging Rat. And 24 degrees in Cape Town. I'm actually offended that you dare to call that winter. Yeah, it's quite nice. At the moment, that is for sure. We're currently sitting 3 degrees in New Zealand. We wouldn't mind a couple extra degrees overall. And also, we have got that come on the box, says Island Fan. And I'm starting a petition to have Ian Foster's All Black contract extended for another 4 years. Summer Wallabies can finally win the Bledisloe Cup back. And hello, everyone, says Gareth. And the chat, I hope you are doing well. Gareth, what are you thinking for this game? Are you happy with the changes that we have seen? Bongi scores the first try, and I generally feel like none of these games matter anymore. They're all just coaches running new blood and trying different things, says Easy Ollie. Although a series win is still a series win. We must remember that. If the Springboks don't win at home here, they will feel like that is just a dagger through the heart. They want to play Ruben Love and Fergus Burke, as a Canes fan. Love as the one with massive potential. He certainly is. And him in the Māori All Blacks game looked phenomenal as well. And also the fate of the North versus South comes down to the wire. Let's go Boks, says Eurostar. And if South Africa do end up losing this game, then we are going to end up going to that game between Argentina and Scotland. That is the last day, or the last game of the day, that we are covering. Who's better, Tom Curry or Josh Van den Fleer? Van den Fleer, 100%. He is sensational. Josh Van den Fleer, whether it's the turnover and the breakdown, whether it's his running game, he just keeps on firing every single time he makes his way out onto the park. And also that's cheating. Should be bucketing down, says Hangarat. And also eventually South Africa Team A, says Edu. And also we've got their Nana Springbok by 100, says Nathan. Hello from Rob Lowe. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Nervous here. The Irish must have given the Welsh a big belief boost there. Yeah, definitely with their last test match going the way of Wales. But the one thing that we've seen is extremely close fixtures between these two sides. Anytime it's come down to a final kick or just one miss could be the difference between these two teams, unless we get to see a Springbok side that a lot of people expected as soon as this tour was announced, which is going to be an out-and-out, all-out assault, really, of the opposition. It'd be cool if all the North teams won, says Island Fan. If they did, that means that my mustache goes missing. So that is probably the only thing that will be the downfall for myself, is the fact that I'll get a cold top lip after not having one. And also, hello, Ultima Skatebok is the tops. And there's his Berenice. And also time for the Boks to feel the fire of the Welsh Dragon, says Master Mal, and go Bok, says Paul Duplessis. So they are talking to Jamie Roberts at the moment, and also Victor Matfield has a huge amount of caps for the Springboks. Okay, Jamie Roberts is saying if Wales manage the first 20 minutes well, they might have a decent chance of being able to win this contest. But the other side of things is if South Africa end up doing brilliantly in that first 20 minutes, you'd have to say that they would be behind straight away for the Welsh and go Wales and Doris or Dombrand. Oh, that's a trickier one. That is a lot trickier. I know that we've got Sebastian in the chat who's a big Harlequins fan. We haven't really seen Dombrand too much at international level. Caelan Doris of the Six Nations last year did absolutely better. So you'd probably have to go Doris for the proven, like, what we've seen, whereas you'd probably go with Dombrand if you were looking at domestic competition-wise, because I think he stands up a little bit more for the Harlequins than Doris does for Leinster, just because Leinster are just stacked in that loose forward trio. South Africa always starts slow, says Hanger Rat. Yeah, there'll be a few box kicks, a few testing factors here for these two sides to try and work out what the weaknesses are of the opposition. I know that number 15, Damian Valimza, he'll be tested under the high ball, but normally he is very solid when it comes to that department. And also we'll see, but I think South Africa will win, says Island Fan, and also A1K, says TOC as well. And also the Boks have a lot of depth, says William. And yeah, that's the thing. They've gone back to, I guess, what you call one of the strongest sides that they can put out after having so many changes in that second test match. They've actually got 11 or 10 more in the starting lineup for this week. And hello, my friend, best of luck. I'm a Welsh fan, but I love South Africa. It's going to be a cracking game. Who do you reckon is going to be the key player to turn the tide in this game? Says Adam there as well. So I would say, tell you what, this is the perfect segue to look into the starting lineups. We have still got another 10 to 15 minutes away from the kickoff. I did see your question there, Aidan. So yeah, it is going to be a 3:05 a.m. kickoff for New Zealand time. For me, Ebenetsabev steps up in this contest. It's his 100th test match. Sometime the occasion can get to a player, but Ebenetsabev seems like he's one of those guys who would just take it to the next level when he knows that he needs to. Also, Makazole Mapimpi is the other player I'm saying to watch out for in the Springboks lineup. Running-wise, I think Damian Valimza, if he plays like he did in the first match, he should have a decent crack in this contest as well. For Wales, I think there's going to be a big test here for Will Rowlands and Adam Baird at line-out time, because trying to counter Ebenetsabev has been working very, very often on his line-outs. But I think Will Rowlands is going to have a pretty big game. Talupe Faletau, another guy to watch out for. And then on the back line, it's got to be Lewis Rees-Sammet. That extra pace that he possesses, and save the Mono shave, Amish, says Nathan. Also, Junior Intermac, 110%. I love the stadium. Are they playing in? It's such a beautiful stadium, says Reality Always Wins and No Chance Wales, says John. And what changes will you make to the All Blacks lineup for the Rugby Championship? I'd probably give Mwanga a little bit more time, just because it seems like currently that combination of Beauden Barrett and Aaron Smith, Ireland were able to shut it down pretty quickly. Now, the benefit of the Rugby Championship is you're only playing teams twice, and then you get to switch it around a little bit when you do find a different side. But I'll probably give Mwanga more time. Will Jordan, it's one of those ones, I want to see him at fullback, but they've got Geordie Barrett at the moment. So it's a big question of whether or not we've got a kicking option outside of Geordie Barrett, which probably involves having Mwanga at 10 and Will Jordan at 15 is something that I might consider as one if I was in charge. But unfortunately, I am not. So I don't get to make too many of the big decisions. But I think they need a little bit of a reshuffle in that back line, just because it seems like they're almost just, they don't seem to be gelling. And also, 50K on your last All Black stream, Holy, says Xavier. Yeah, did very well. Indeed, I think we reached about 2,600 people watching at once, which is absolutely insane. And also, hi, Danny Parkett, says better niece there. And also, come on, Wales, plus 13, way too big. And Springboks put in full strength squad, says Ireland fan there. And I am supporting South Africa from Canada in there as well, says Danny. So, yeah, I hope you are doing well, mate. Is the weather nice in Canada at the moment? Are you in summer or winter? Do let me know. I'm terrible with my time zones and seasons, as some people will already know. Cheslin, very versatile, says Hanger at there. Yeah, Cheslin Colby's going to be one to watch out for throughout this contest. Lewis Rees Zammit, though, I think that's going to be an awesome battle, seeing those two mark up against each other, because they both just possess that extra little bit of speed, extra bit of that agility as well. I think it's fair enough. Seems like the Barretts have toned it down, says Sebastian. And yeah, it just seems to be that they're missing that spark that was so effective for them, I guess you could say. And it sounds harsh to say for the Barretts because they are still playing pretty well. I think Scott Barrett would have gone all right in this game for the Kiwis, although Akira Ioane in a spot thought did pretty decently. And yes, Savas might win by 13 points, but they'll win, says Easy Ollie there as well. So I guess now that we are at the ground now, ladies and gentlemen, do let me know your score predictions for this contest. What is the exact score margin you think between these two sides? I am going with the Springboks by 8 in this contest, but we will have to wait and see whether or not we are correct. I've just seen that the Fight for Life is $50 for the pay-per-view. That is quite expensive, and I like the way Geordie Barrett kicks goals, says Easy Ollie. See, that's the thing. He is there, in my opinion, he is there at fullback because they don't have another kicking option. Beauden Barrett, his kicking's 50-50 at best, and then alongside him, you've got David Havili. Maybe you can take the long kicks. They have a short kicker such as Mwonga, who is able to slot them over time after time. That's where Perifeta might be a decent option for the All Blacks at some point. Just have that kicking option to then give Will Jordan that spot at 15 to see how dangerous he can be when he has the whole field to work with rather than just that right wing side. The hope of the South is on the Springboks shoulders, says Gershon. And if they don't end up winning this game, then we are looking straight at Argentina to try and carry the Southern Hemisphere, which is unfortunately something we haven't seen many times in the past, because in the Rugby Championship, they were not able to get themselves anyone. South Africa by 3-5. It was a good afternoon. Everyone question Hamish. What are the bookies' odds on EMB and Sack, says Richard? They are quite high at the moment. I'd say it's about a 50-50, but I think he's going to stick around for a little bit longer just while they don't. I guess he's going to have to resign in terms of if that's how they get him out of the contract. He will have to resign. It won't be the other way around. I don't think he gets fired. What happened to Moonga? I don't keep up with Southern Hemisphere rugby as much as Northern Hemisphere. He is still there. He comes off the bench and gets like 5 or 10 minutes. And also we have got there, Hamish, drink some water and take a moment. Your throat has to be raw by now, says Hanger Out. It is feeling a little bit closer to me not having a voice tomorrow. Oh, okay, so Reece Patchell actually going to be coming off the bench here. That is a late change. Okay, a rib injury here for the bench of South Africa. So Patchell moves in, and that is going to be a big change, mate. And that's actually only the second change that the Welsh have got in their lineup. And yes, Bok, yes, go. And Pollard is key for me. He has to take control of the game, especially when the game is on the line, says Junior Ryder. Yeah, his kicking's going to have to be accurate. His kicking, not just for the goal, but also just kicking in behind, trying to play the territory game if they do risk that for the Springboks, which I believe they will for the first half. They'll have that feeling out process, but this is the lineup that South Africa have gone with in this contest. Trevor Nakania at number 1, Bongi Umbanambi at number 2, and then Franz Malharba will be there at 3. Looking through at the locks, Eben Etzebeth bringing up his 100th cap for the Springboks. Huge occasion for that man, and I'd love to be able to bring up the 100th with a win. Lut Diaga at number 5, the versatile forward, will be there at 5. Sia Khaleesi starting at number 6, and he is captain for this game. Peter Steph and Jesper Visa as the other 2 in the loose forward trio. Jaden Hendricks are at 9, a good choice for the Springboks, I feel, with Faf de Klerk coming off the bench in the later stages of this important third test match. Andre Pollard at 10 is going to be kicking for this game, and then maybe it goes to Damien Valimza after the Pollard sub does take place. Damien Dialende there at number 12. Lokaniwam at the outside centre role. Makazole Mapimpi, Cheslin Colby, and Damien Valimza will be the man at fullback, who I felt had a very good game. And that first match, South Africa by 12, says Eurostar, and win by 12, says Berenice, and Wales by 3, says Kevin, and Saffers by 7, Bok to win by 10. So we've got a few different changes in there by the looks of the score. Dan Bigger about to make his way out onto the park in Cape Town. It's going to be an intimidating one, but South Africa, they will be looking to fire back after that defeat last week to the Welsh. This one has the whole game and the whole series on the line. Gareth Thomas, Ryan Elias, and Dylan Lewis as the front row. Then Will Rowlands and Adam Beard going to need a big game going head-to-head with Eben Etzebeth. And it has Dan Lydiot at number 6, Tommy Riffle at 7, and Talupe Falatau at number 8. Kieran Hardy and Dan Bigger will be in the halves. Nick Tonkin, George North, Josh Adams moves into the starting lineup. That is due to the injury of Adam Cuthbert. And then a Lewis Rees-Sammer out on the other wing, who did score 2 tries in that first matchup against the Springboks. Liam Williams takes 15, looking through at the benches, and just a late change here for the Welsh. They did actually have Gareth Anscombe at number 22, but instead having to make the late change due to a rib injury. So instead, I believe it is Satchel who makes his way into number 22. But for the Springboks, oh, wow. They have got Eben 100 lit up with fire at the ground. That is an absolutely awesome touch. And they've got the slow motion shot. 7th Bok to reach 100 tests. He's had 94 starts and he's captain 12 for the Springboks. Massive moment for that man, and nothing but respect for the way that he has played throughout his career. I mentioned that when I was younger, he was the one that I always used to watch out for because you knew he was going to bring that physicality and also just give you 110% no matter what. Now, Bongi Ombanambi, he makes his way out onto the field, his 50th test cap. So a huge amount of occasions and milestones coming for the Springboks in this one. Kits off, Vincent Cock and Malcolm Marks, the bomb squad, start in the front row for the reserves. Franco Moster, Kwaka Smith, then also Heinrich Lowe is there as well. And he's the 45th Bok to reach 50 tests for Bongi Ombanambi. Then Faf de Klerk and Willie LaRue, a lot of experience between those two, but they will be the guys who are coming off the bench. Bloody hell, I've just seen the Romanian lineup for the second Uruguay game. We have 2 Kiwis, Valvasa and also Tomani, and a Tongan Lama and a Safa Van Heerden. But they're all clean Romanian passports. Says Sebastian there as well. But Dewey Lake, Wyn Jones and Sam Wainwright coming off the bench for the Welsh. Alan Wyn Jones, Josh Navidi, Thomas Williams, no Gareth Anscombe like I mentioned, instead Session does slot in there. And then number 23, Owen Watkin. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just away from this game getting underway. It is about to be the South African national anthem. And then we are ready to get into this match, the third and final, the decider. It must be a rugby vibe. And the capital tonight says Berenice, exactly right. And also it's a game of containment. If Wales contain the box forward well enough, they'll win the backs. Win if the backs have the ball. Reverse situation for the Boks to win, says Stuart Lee. Exactly right. The big thing for Wales will be to stop the Springboks from playing their natural game, because when the Springboks play dangerously with that free-flowing rugby, they are one of the best teams at the world in attack, if not the best. But if they can somehow get shut out of this match for the first half, if Wales keep it close at halftime, they will have a decent chance of being able to do what they did last week and get themselves a massive win. And it could be a series win as well. South Africa by 8, says Island Fan. Maybe Alfred, the major sponsors of New Zealand All Blacks, makes the call, says Nathan there. But we are about to hear the national anthems. Quite a few Welsh supporters have made the trip here to South Africa, which is great to see. A lot of Bok kits in the crowd as well. I was about to say Blitzbok, but of course that is the 7 side of things, and we are covering the Commonwealth Games in only 2 weeks' time on the channel as well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated, you guys all being here, and we have got plenty more videos coming in the near future, including next week. We will be covering Tonga versus Hong Kong, a Rugby World Cup qualifying match. Now, okay, we've got the national anthem of Wales, and they are singing the anthem on TV now, says Alter. They are indeed. And the Welsh, that man had kind of more of a Springbok kit amongst the Welshmen. And we will have to wait and see who gets the bragging rights for that one. And be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to check out the pinned or the membership in the pinned comment for access to exclusive perks. Says Sebastian there as well. But yeah, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hugely appreciated. Like I mentioned, I see your surname fits by you, Rat, says Rena there as well. Wales. This will be a passionate game of rugby. I would think there's going to be a little bit of off-the-ball stuff going on, maybe a bit of push and shove, just because both of these sides want this so badly, and they've worked so long to be able to get their come on Wales and Doris. Says TOC, and Steph Detoy is another one who needs a big game. He has a big body, and he has to get the gain line, go forward to set the platform, says Junior Ryder. And that is one thing that we've seen from Peter Steph Detoy in the past. He is World Rugby Player of the Year a few years ago. Now is his big opportunity at DHL Stadium. He's had a couple games in the past year for the Stormers, I believe, and also hope they run the ball, says Graham there. Although I don't believe we're going to get to see too much running of the ball for the first, I would say first 20 minutes are going to be a bit seesaw. Couple penalties, kicking the conversions at the moment. the South Africa national anthem. Now, the thing is, I heard a clip on Instagram of that last match, and you could hear the South African crowd singing it, and it was without the singer kind of playing, and it was absolutely rocking the stadium. And I'm Welsh. Every time I watch Wales, we lose. Every time I don't, we win over, says Stuart Lee. So I guess the question is, does watching this live stream count as watching Wales for yourself, Stuart? Or does it count as a little bit of a loophole that you might have found to be able to watch them without jinxing them? To badly do South Africa Rugby Board bring a Welsh, or the Welsh man over to sing, and then home of the URC Champs. Beautiful venue, though, says Sebastian. Exactly right. And a few Stormers make their way into this lineup. I did see that the Welshman did actually have a Springbok pin on his shirt. And morning, says Martin Smith. Welcome in, mate. Currently sitting 3:05 a.m. here in New Zealand. Eben Etzebeth looking as concentrated as ever. 100th test match. The fact that he has heard this national anthem 100 times, standing out there, like they were saying, getting the call that you were in the starting lineup or reserves 100 times over. Some people wouldn't make 100 phone calls in a year or 5 years, let alone getting one every single week from the coach saying, mate, you are back here. We're ready to go. And let's see what you can do. And give the Bok a cup of coffee. They need it, says Rena. And Bok, you can do it. Good luck, says Betty there. And Afrikaans woman singing national anthem. Carleen Vans Jutfield says Alta. And also can't see South Africa losing this, says Martin Smith. A few cups of coffee for a long day in the office for you, bro. Good to see you still going strong, says Leo. And we have got one last match that is going to be taking place after this one. It will be Argentina, and they will be taking on Scotland, and we will be covering that. There will be about our 17th hour of live streaming on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you do enjoy what we do, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. There is a hug from Matthew Carley in charge of this one. Angus Garner, assistant referee. It is an Australian TMO, and that will be Cronin. Are you going to show the game on the stream, says Arctic. Sadly, due to licensing, we are unable to show any match footage or audio, but I can heavily recommend checking out, I believe it is DSTV as one option. You can also get a VPN and watch it from Ireland, I think is the place that you can get it for free. And also a Springbok pin, yeah, he'll get stabbed when he lands back in Cardiff. And I hope New Zealand qualify for the FIFA World Cup 2026. I hope so too. And Georgia's score update, says Xavier. I believe he said, last time I heard Sebastian said that they were quite even. And Georgia leads 9-6, Xavier. Says Sebastian, and New Zealand will qualify for 2026 FIFA World Cup, bro. But the Cats and the milestones, 150 between Bongi Umbanumbi and Eben Etzebeth. And now the time for talking is nearly done for these players. They will be fired up. They will be rearing to go. And ladies and gentlemen, test match rugby at its finest. This has got the potential of being the game of the weekend. And will the mustache be going if Wales win today? Or will you shave your head, says Jeff. So there is a new one, which is if all of the Northern Hemisphere teams win, the mustache goes for the first time in about 4 or 5 years. So there's a lot on the line. If Wales win this game and then Scotland win their game up against Argentina, my lip's going to get cold, which would be unfortunate because it is currently 3 degrees here in New Zealand. But South Africa will be kicking off this game from left to right in front of a sellout crowd at Cape Town Stadium. We are ready to rumble, ladies and gentlemen. Andre Pollard is going to be getting us underway for this third and final test match between South Africa and Wales. It's kicked off long. Josh Navidi takes it nicely, and Pollard strategically kicking it down into the smoke, which is quite a good plan for South Africa straight away. It looks like there will be a box kick from Kieran Hardy. Looks like Cheslin Colby. Oh, was that a punch thrown by Cheslin Colby? Surely not. But if it was, he's probably not going to be out there on the field anymore. But I don't think it was. I think it was just a case of a bit of push and shove between him and one of the props for the Welsh. And how's that, Hamish? Says Betty V, doing very well, mate. And Bry, go and let's go Bok. And come on, Wales, says Connor. Now rolling it back. And also South Africa Bok. I watch and see they're going to win, says Alta. It's kicked high from Hardy down to the halfway line, taken very nicely by Jasper Visa, but driven backwards in the tackle by Josh Adams. The one change in the starting lineup for Wales. They have been consistent with who they have been selecting, whereas the Springboks, there are 10 changes in the starting lineup for the 2019 World Cup winners. It's gone high from Andre Pollard, going for the box kick, trying to cause pressure. Liam Williams knocks it on, and now he's out of position, but he's been able to make the tackle while lying down on the ground. Knock-on advantage in favour of South Africa. Now, nice backline movement. Damian Willemse going for the kick in behind, looking for a bit of territory. And it looks like he might have gone a little bit too much on that one, and it's going back for the penalty advantage to South Africa. Also, I hope the pitch holds under the scrums. Says Hanger out. Yeah, there has been quite a bit of, I guess you could say, the ripped up turf, unfortunately, throughout the URC. Some of these ones just get absolutely destroyed by the boots. And 70 likes, smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to DSTV. It's still unavailable to resolve my package. Great, so streaming here instead. Says Roblo. So hopefully we do provide decent enough commentary for you, mate. But we do appreciate you being here on this match. We are going to be doing the Rugby Championship as well. And also a few other domestic competitions. Whereas George says the Ninja Dude, it is currently 3:10 a.m. So he is working. I think he starts at about 7 tomorrow morning. So he wasn't going to be here for this match. He did just join me for Australia versus England. But Liam Williams stayed down a little bit longer than Wales would have liked. And now it is going to be South Africa who are going for the rolling maul opportunity from 20 metres out. So a bit too far out for Pollard to be able to strike that one over. Bongi on Manumbi. Throws the ball in, claimed by Ludiaga. And now it is the rolling maul, 22 metres out. Looks like it's relatively well defended at the moment from Wales, but starting to creep sideways here for the Springboks, which can always make it awkward for a defending side. It looks like they're doing nicely here, though. It has gone down. They have been told to use a Bongi on Manumbi. Finds the offload to Hendrickse. And now Damian Dialende does take the carry once again. Hendrickse goes back across to Ludiaga, almost breaks through the line, but did almost have a handling error in there as well. Ebenezer for his 100th test match physicality at its finest, that man. And it's going to be another advantage now to South Africa. This is an easy 3 if they want it. Now Lukanyo instead goes for the chip over across. It's going to sit up for Makazole Mapimpi. Was his foot on the line, or was it just the first try of the match for the Boks? The crowd are claiming it. South Africa are claiming it. Working on Sundays. That is pretty rough as well, says Sebastian. And it's been pretty wet around here, so because of that, it does mean that he has got to kind of, I guess, make up the hours that he's missed. And also the popcorn. And there as well says Martin. But this is a on-field try for Makazole Mapimpi. Right. Possibly checking for a foot in touch here for Makazole Mapimpi. Oh, his foot's in touch. So it is going to be a no try there. I would have thought that the referee would have seen that, being right behind him, but he did miss it, so they did go upstairs. And he's on Break Island Hearts in the third ODI when George Dockerall, the best player, got run out. And also, Hamish, you might be right, says Hanger Rat there. And do you think Sansa will ever include Japan in the Rugby Championship? I think at some stage they might. And also, fit no try, says it was no moment. Damn it, and disallowed, says Sebastian there. And sorry, I almost forgot, says RJJ. And I made the rookie error last week and went to sleep before the South African game. Then woke up to 20, with 20 to go in South African game. Now I don't sleep. And I'm up. Let's get it. Says Xavier. So are you going to be joining us, Xavier, for Scotland versus Argentina, or will that be during the time that you are asleep? But anyone who is new, like I mentioned, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Working on Sundays. I'm a vicar, so it doesn't worry me that much, says Alan King. And Go Springboks, says Rugby score. And straight out in front, Andre Pollard converts. And South Africa do take the lead in this contest. 3 points to 0 after 4 minutes. But Will Rowlands, they are showing him, he was the man who got penalised in the breakdown. It was Ebenezer first of all having the big carry, then Will Rowlands. I think they are saying it was just not quite rolling away quick enough. That did lead to the penalty advantage. And now Wales will be kicking off. They haven't actually gone deep, which is an interesting choice. Instead, going short, and it's been slapped back, but it's going to be on the side of the Springboks, and Makazole Mapimpi cleans up. Well, that's what I want to, but I might fall asleep. Says Xavier, and also kicking volley. Says Bertie V, yeah, straight up in front, is able to convert it now. Andre Pollard puts it high. Defense needs to be good from South Africa now. Wales will come back, says Hanger Rat. It's taken beautifully by Cheslin Colby. He landed hard on the back of his neck, but I believe he's going to be all right. He's a resilient fellow, Cheslin Colby, and seems to get up from anything now. We have a Netzebeth with the big fend on Nick Tompkin. Ball on the outside. Lukanyo arm. One more to Makazole Mapimpi, who's close to the touchline, and he has been shut down relatively well by the Welsh defence. Now waiting for this one. Hendrickse at the back of the ruck. Gives it off to Trevor Kanye. Nice carry. And also, come on, South Africa will win 24 degrees. And there as well, says Sebastian. And what's the temperature there at the game? Yeah, it's pretty warm for them currently. And also, defence needs to be good by South Africa now. Wales will come back and come on. South Africa, says Rugby score. But that one's gone high. And I believe this will be a mark taken. Yes, it is. For Wales. Nicely done by Kieran Hardy to get underneath that one and shut down the speed that South Africa are playing at. They're playing at a high tempo in South Africa. And there says Martin, and also that like winter here in the UK right now, says Stuart Lee. And now kick downfield, doesn't find touch from Wales. And now It is going to be kicked high from Honre Pollard. Good chase from Damien Willemse. A beautiful take. And he's just been ankle tapped by it was Dan Bigger. And they've actually said that it's going to be a penalty advantage. Now Bongi Mbonambi tries to spin. This is brilliant work from the Boxers, as if they found that fifth gear that they were trying to find in the last match. Jasper Visa does go down now. Hendrickse gives it off into the hands of the captain, Sia Khaleesi. And currently it's been all attack from the Springboks. Cheslin Colby gets it on the bounce. It's a missed tackle from Josh Adams, and he is going to get driven into touch. They're going back for the initial penalty once again. And what are you using to see the score? Says Rugby Score. So it is actually a site called Flash Score. It has just updated, so it was a little bit slow get in there. But now, that's brilliant work from the Springboks. They have come out like a house on fire. And also interesting to see how South African flag is like white font undies on the side. Says Martin Smith there. And where is George? I am missing him in commentary. He brings the comedy. Says coding there. Well, it's currently 3:15 a.m. here in New Zealand, so George is sleeping because he has got work starting at 7. But he was here for Australia versus England, if that is one that you do want to see for a bit of George. But Damien Willemse, that was a brilliant low tackle made by Dan Bigger, but they didn't let him go is the big changing thing. And also thanks, says Rugby Score. And Stuart Broad says the Ninja Dude. Now Bongi Mbonambi in his 50th test match. Can he add another try to his resume here? Lucanio Armand's a solid player. He gets on with it with no nonsense, says Junior Ryder. Yeah, he's just a quiet workhorse, I like to call him. Lucanio Arm just keeps on going as often as he can. Now Hlutiacha now going for the rolling maul. Bongi Mbonambi at the back. They have been told to use it once. Doesn't look like it's quite going to make the meters that they want. Now it starts to creep a little bit more. And Bongi Mbonambi, great opportunity here. Instead, Hendrickse goes back to Damien Dialende. It looks like it's right next to him. He's on the line. No, he's decided to put it back. And the referee, you've got to almost play on there. The referee wants to check at Matthew Carley, but I think the Springboks were saying we would have done 1 or 2 more phases and stop a potential try. And surely that was cynical and yellow from Lewis Rees-Zammit. Says average YouTube user. And also, what time is it over there? Says Scrumptious is a. So currently we are sitting at 3:17 a.m. New Zealand time. I'm watching from Cyprus. Thanks for the great coverage. Says Mr. TP. No worries at all, mate. I hope it is nice weather over there in Cyprus. What is the time in Cyprus as well? Do let me know. Right. On-field no try. For me, if it's on-field no try, you've got to have a good reason to blow the whistle and decide to go back. Right, Damien Dialende. Oh, it's close. I think that's a try. Although it's just gone short there at the end. And try in my box, says Richard. Yeah, look good from Damien Dialende. So he's allowed 1 movement, and that is what Damien Dialende had. Okay, the original decision was no try. This is going to be an interesting one to see what they decide, because it has to be clear and conclusive. For me, this is pretty clear. Or hang on. It has to be conclusive. That angle, I think if we got a little bit more of it without the Welsh player being in the way, we would have seen a try. Well, it's a scrum for Wales, and that will be fine, says Hangarat. Okay, they're saying that they don't know whether or not you can say conclusively that that would have been a try. So instead, it is going to be the penalty, I believe, still for Wales. Okay, 5 metre scrum to green. See, that's the thing, South Africa. I think Damien Dialende put it back. So he was ready for a couple more phases, but it didn't actually work out that way due to them going upstairs. And also, no, I changed my mind, says Richard. And then also trying to save your trash, or your tash, says Jeff. And also, we get the go, bot, go. And also, it's a try, says Betty V. And also, great commentary listening from Northern Cyprus, says Salah there. Hopefully, I've said that correctly. Right. Scrum feed now for the Springboks. Currently 8 minutes into this. Not sure how it's a South African scrum. So it is a South African scrum because they did feel that they were short of the line. So because of that, it becomes a 5 metre scrum rather than a goal line dropout. But like I mentioned, I would have thought South Africa would have liked a couple more phases and then go back to have a look at Hamish Bro. This is Nelson Mandela Football Grounds and behind your screen. So we are at Cape Town Stadium for this one, or DHL Stadium as it's known for the URC competition. Big pack for South Africa, over 900 kgs. Wales are right up there as well. And shot all line, South Africa scrum. Says Berenice there. And I would love a Northern Hemisphere Barbarians versus Southern Hemisphere Barbarians. Says Xavier. Would be pretty awesome to see, that is for sure. It's a little bit scrappy there at scrum time. A little bit of this going on. So they're going to have to go back see whether or not they can find that stability, and the Boks will pay by the might of the sweaty Welsh pack, says Martin Smith. Yeah, both of the sides, they'll be sweating out there because currently it is sitting at 24 degrees, I believe, and the scrum will say a lot, says Hanger Rat. And Hamish, you've been at this for a while now. Has anyone picked you up on national TV, radio, or whatever? Says Alan King, not officially, but I have actually done a different commentary gig at one point, how I was actually commentating a different sport. It wasn't really a professional one. It was more for a littler league, but I did actually do a little bit of commentary at one point. I love coming on here and talking rugby. Everyone is passionate about their team, but also respect other teams. So I love this game as a respect and mateship as well, I should say. Now it's a big push from the Boks. Jesper Visa wants it, but he's gone down just short. Right, you go to the left here. As soon as you do a couple phases, I think it's going to be danger and get Makazole Mapimpi over the line for the first try, but it looks like they want to go to the right instead, using Bongi on Benumbi. Gets close. They have been told to get out of it. Now if they miss the chance to pass after him, Jesper Visa just short by 5 meters. Another advantage against Wales, 5 meters out from their own line. They've got to be extremely careful. Adam Beard trying to cause a little bit of disruption, and it looked like the same thing could be said about Tommy Reffel. Now they are going wide out that side. Andre Pollard tries to kick. That was not the option, as Damien Dialende was in front of him. And D11 South Africa says hang around, and also let's go Bok, and no Martin Smith and try on the line, and Ref can't see that ball was moved backward, and same says Udu. Yeah, my biggest, I guess, concern with it was the fact that he didn't let South Africa keep on going a couple more phases. And it has nothing to do with where I stay good, says Arena, and also we're going to let's go Wales, and also well done, Hamish, no you rugger, says Patrick. Yeah, as well, nice tie commentator, sir. Is that a secret South African supported tie? I actually do own a few South African schoolboy team ties. Fun fact, they were actually sent to me by one of you guys. But this one, I guess you could say it's just a stock standard blue one for today. Overall, maybe in the next one. Imagine the hate that I would get if I wore a South African schoolboy rugby tie for an All Blacks versus South Africa match. That would get me in a lot of trouble as a Kiwi, that is for sure. But penalties conceded. Currently, we're seeing 4 against Wales, 0 against the Springboks, and 88 likes. Smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. Says Bertie V, you heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. Guys, all being here for this live stream. We have got plenty more action coming in the near future. And be sure to stick around, including the Rugby Championship. Massive match between the All Blacks and South Africa for that one. It's gone down in the front row once again. Hang a rat. It has nothing to do with where I stay. Come on, Mr. Rat. Says Rena there, and also do it, says Martin Smith. I mean, it might be fine for the South African viewers, but the All Blacks fans might get a little bit angry at me. And also, do you have a PO box? We don't actually at this stage, but we are considering something along those lines. But I don't know whether or not anyone would want to send us anything. So I guess that's kind of the whole thing of I don't really know how to use a PO box, to be honest. And also, ABs were pitiful today. Yeah, they didn't play well, but Ireland, full credit to them. They played brilliantly throughout that first test match, throughout that second test match and the third. And we can do a swap. We have plenty of New Zealand supporters in Cape Town, says RJJ. I would say the Irish were tiggerish. Says Patrick, now it's a penalty going the way of South Africa once again. And this time it is going to be against number 1, Gareth Thomas. Disappointed with that penalty. South Africa may consider going for the 3 points once again in respect to New Zealand. Thank you for your hospitality. Still the team to beat next World Cup, says Porter. And yeah, like I mentioned, full respect to Ireland for the way that they played, and not just one of those test matches and not just 2 of those test matches, but the Māori All Blacks game, they were competitive as well. It was just awesome to see the fact that they were able to make history. And also Tiger, says Hamish, sorry, I thought it might have been like Tiggerish or something, but Tigerish, says Patrick in that one. And also I'll send you an All Blacks jersey in return for the Caramel Scorpions, says Sebastian. That can be arranged. Although I think they're, I'd have to send some cricket surely as well alongside it while we're at it, Sebastian, just to make it worth it. Would you actually eat the Scorpions? Like, literally, would you? And destroy the Bell, says Rugby Score. And also Irish have some great game plans and execution. Well, if Joe didn't take over the All Blacks, they won't get out of their World Cup group. Now, nice push once again from the Boks. Yes, Visa waits for it at the back. That's going to be cynical, I would think, from Thomas Williams or Kieran Hardy. Quick tap taken by Jaden Hendricks. So was he on the mark? Yes, he was. And now South Africa, I think he almost stopped. He wasn't sure whether or not he was allowed to play on. Now around the sides, Peter Steftatoy tries to reach out. Where's Etzebeth? Can he get a test try in his 100th game? Ludiacha just short. A little bit of a handling here. Etzebeth was a metre short. there as well. Peter Stiftatoy looked like he was considering using it. It's been all South Africa with possession. Now, yes, Spavisa drops the head. Once again, brilliant defence from Wales. Pop pass after Peter Stiftatoy goes down. They might consider going wide to Cheslin Colby here. Andre Pollard over. And that's something you don't see every day. Andre Pollard running in for the try. And the Springboks getting themselves their first try of the match as Wyn Jones playing for Wales as well, says Martin Smith. He is indeed. He is going to be coming off the bench. And then also Alan Wyn Jones is out there edible and safe. Sure, says Sebastian. That is the attitude, mate. That is pretty, I guess, pretty daredevilish one. I guess you'd say the All Blacks are the best team, says Arena. Although, I mean, some questionable players in there at the moment. I guess you could say they didn't quite go the way that they would have liked in their last test match up against the Irish, losing twice in a row for the first time since 1998 on home soil. That was before I was even a thought, I would think. Or I might have been a thought at that point, but I wasn't quite made. You know, we won't go too far into the birds and the bees on this live stream as it could get a bit graphic. But nice work from Andre Pollard. Getting the try for South Africa. That is a brilliant one to score for Andre Pollard. And now it does mean that South Africa will take themselves just a little bit more of a lead at this game. And also, I'm too excited. I mean, Box, CS Rugby score, and also we can go Box, destroy them and try. Should that not be a penalty try, says Richard English. And he had his oats this morning, says Rena. And also, Box won't want to do an All Blacks, says Martin Smith. And well, Rena, you're far gone, says Aaron. And also, All Blacks got one for less. Says Richard and O'Bugger. Well done, Box. And yeah, like the Bok, us going to lose, says Rena. Now, 15 minutes into this contest, Andre Pollard. This will be a very valuable kick to get over for himself. And he does manage to get it over. Jeffers, but O'Bugger, well done, Box. And there's Andre Pollard converting his own try. And like I mentioned, it's not something you see very often from Pollard to be willing to take on the line from that far out, push himself through two big forwards, Ryan Elias and also Lydia. That is huge from Andre Pollard, and it's really shown that the Springboks, they want to bring that physicality to this matchup, and that is exerted, and that is certainly, I should say, what we are going to see. Springboks coaches, they were very happy with that one. Birds and the bees. Where's your dad today, says Alan King. He is asleep at the moment, and you are a laugh for a minute. Says hang around, let's go. Says Rugby Sky, okay, I'm out. Can't even listen to commentary. I jinxed the Welsh. Might stick my head in briefly later quickly for the update. And you are still in Holy God's pockets, says Porter. Oh, Alan Wyn Jones actually making his way out onto the field already. So that is due to the injury of Dan Lydiot. And I think he got injured in the tackling of Andre Pollard. So Andre Pollard will add that to the tick list. Injury forward. Done very nicely there. And that is life, man, says Rena. And also ABs need overall for the World Cup. I think get rid of half of the team, says Martin Smith. And there are certainly a few players that a lot of people would say will be the first to go in the near future. Peter Stiftatoy just getting a little bit of gel for the hands, making sure that it's nice and grippy for himself. And now Dan Bigger about to kick off this one for Wales once again. So a great start to the match for the Springboks. And what does the field position like, or what does the field position look like now? The moment on the halfway line, Dan Bigger just about to kick this one off. And it's Dan Bigger playing. He certainly is. I've just worked out I am 10 years older than you, Hamish. I cannot believe that, says Richard English. Although, you know what they say, age is just a number. I'm sure you're feeling young at heart. Kicked off long from Dan Bigger. Taken nicely by Jasper Vesa inside of the 22 for the Springboks. And now South Africa may consider going for the box kick of some sort. It will either be Jaden Hendrickse. It will indeed be. I thought he might have rolled it back to Pollard, give him a strike of the ball, but instead Hendrickse goes for a Makazole Mapimpi, tries to go up for it. Isn't able to take it cleanly. Andre Pollard, the first try scorer of this match. It was a massive one for the Springboks. Hamish Bro Springbok. Good start here. Inside 15 minutes, says Michelle. And also, we have got, where is flyer for South Africa, or who is flyer for South Africa? That is going to be Andre Pollard, who was able to get himself the first try in the box. Know how to play their hearts out, otherwise they are screwed, says Brendan. And the big thing for me is the Springboks, anytime they face adversity, they always seem to step up. And this is one of those games that they knew that they needed to step up. They've kept Wales under pressure. Dan Bigger, tackled up by Peter Stiftatoy, but it's a nice backline moving now. George North fends off Cheslin Colby, just hits him in the face with his hand. Now off the back, Nick Tonkin fires it off to Alan Wyn Jones. It looks like Wales are now going for an attacking counter in themselves. Now nice wide pass out to Lewis Rees-Sammer. He isn't quite able to use that acceleration to his advantage, but Makazole Mapimpi able to drag him down on a great tackle. Now Kieran Hardy goes back. It was a flat pass off to Ryan Elias, very low to the ground, almost stolen by Peter Stiftatoy, but loses his footing. The loose ball Bounce back up to Josh Adams, a man, like I mentioned, who was added into the starting lineup. Nice backline movement. George North breaking through the tackle with Damian Valimza. It's slippery out there by the looks of it. And also your feet just end up getting roughed up. That was probably almost a penalty against Damian Valimza for joining from the Welsh side, I should say. And as I please share your screen, sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio that we do show gets us taken straight off YouTube for 3 months. Dan Bigger pop pass up to Nick Tompkins. This is good phase play. Jaden Hendricks gets straight in the breakdown, though. Wasn't able to get it back. Alan Jones passes back. Offload up to Lewis Rees-Zammit. Flicks it out the back to Liam Williams. Once again, slipping over. Rees-Zammit gets it back. Trying to break through the line. He's going to be charging hard, but Jaden Hendricks gets him down. 11 phases in a row here for the Welsh. So they continue to put phase after phase. Big shot on captain. Now Tompkins. Ball on the outside to Adams. Great last-ditch tackle made by Damian Valimza, but it's not going to matter because Tommy Reffel has gone in for the try. And Wales strike back. And age is just a number. I was in a team that lost 93-0 in the days when 3 points for a try. God, those kills were hard, says Alan King. And then also we have got there here load shedding as well, says Alta. And also, come on, Alfred. I give Ian Flopster the boot. And also, Mr. Hanger, listen to the beautiful voice of this Kiwi. And George North is a large unit. He is indeed. And he's done nicely down the wing. He was able to find that offload. That was a better tackle from Damian Valimza compared to the earlier one. But Wales, they have scored themselves the try. And Tommy Reffel has been able to get that try. How does one spell Reffel? I think it's 2 Fs and 2 Ls. We will go with that anyway until proven otherwise. But nice try for Wales back into this contest. Great offload from Josh Adams. Get that ball up to Reffel. And also we got the load shedding as back, says Rugby Score. And also we have got try from Sebastian. Go on Wales. Wait, Kiwi's Alphas. Kiwi Alphas a voice. As a Māori, that's a first. And there as well, says it was Nathan. And also we have got the Alan, you freaking, the game was better with 4-point tries, or the game was better with 4-point tries and don't write off Wales yet, says Jeff. For this one, yeah, they are a tough side. They seem to be a little bit of a bogey team at the moment for the Springboks. Seems to just change the momentum of this game every single time that Wales start to attack just a little bit more aggressively. They needed to play the way that the Springboks were playing, and that is exactly what they did. They kept that pace going, kept the offloads rolling, and now they are sitting 5 points. The kick did miss, so it's 10 points, 5 points different, and he missed it, says BDV. And do Autumn Internationals affect the world rankings? Can't listen. So can you give a thumbs up or down? So Autumn Internationals, we have currently got the changing in the rankings. Ireland sitting number 1 in the world. France number 2. South Africa 3. New Zealand might be 5th at the moment. That's a big knock on from Jasper Wiese. And now, once again, it is going to be nice work. No, it's not. That's a good shot from Etzebeth. He has just tried to rearrange Kieran Hardy's insides. Etzebeth, he's got, I mean, he doesn't have the smile, but Kieran Hardy was smiling, which is a rarity. I don't think many people smile when they get hit hard by Eben Etzebeth, but I guess you can say this rib was broken by Eben Etzebeth in his 100th test match. Was that kick a hard one, says Martin? It was a little bit tricky, but I would have expected bigger to be able to get it over. I live in Texas, don't really compare accents, but I am a Springbok supporter. Hamish is a good commentator, though. I'll give you that. Here's Hanger at in there as well. Good shot from Eben. Kieran Hardy, he collapsed for a second, and then he got the smile on because he realised who smacked him. And Bigger not kicking well lately. And go Wales. Go like Elvis, man. Go, says Rena. And Ireland are going down. And when we play South Africa, then, says Jack. And that will be the end of year international. It's going to be awesome watching those. Currently see Khaleesi just having a bit of a team talk with his side after 20 minutes in this contest. South Africa up by 5 points. It's a beautiful evening there in Cape Town. It is evening, isn't it? Over there, about 5:30 p.m., I believe it is in Texas. Persian, are you in Austin? And Ireland have a chance versus South Africa, says TOC. And also, Mr. Rat, good luck. You stay there, so what? Says Rena. Oh, Chisel and Colby getting a little bit of medical attention here. I think he actually took a knock earlier on, kind of smacked his jaw back, which is why he's hanging on to it there. And why Jack says TOC. And also, I think with Foster coaching the ABs, or the ABs, the Springboks will defeat us, says Tristan there. Definitely in South Africa, it's going to be a tricky game for the All Blacks to get the better of, but it's going to be awesome to see it take place. It's only 3 weeks away as well, I should mention. Last 5 encounters in South Africa. South Africa, they have won all of them except for the very last one, which was actually, I mean, that's the thing. 3 of the last matches up against South Africa have been the closest and only been separated by 3 or less points. Blocks are very limited, big, powerful. But you match them up front, They're not great, says Saturday Play, and also Ireland will beat South Africa, says TOC. And the rankings, says TOC. If Jack gets sent off with the ref shut Jack off, says it was there. But it looks like Cheslin Colby, he's getting some medical attention here. I think he might have a broken jaw. He is now going to be off the field, possibly for the rest of this game, which does now mean that Willie LaRue makes his way out onto the park a lot earlier than anticipated, which means now the only back replacement that the Springboks have is actually Faf de Klerk. So if they have any other injuries in that back line, they're going to be in a bit of trouble, you would think. And also will be a good match to watch. ABs and South Africa, says Patrick there. And also Springbok, I thank you. And says Rena, and also Nana Never. And with Foster coaching, the ABs, Ivory Coast will beat us, says Floyd. Ball available at the back, and it's a penalty to Wales. The back of the scrum just stepping across the front is a goal from Matthew Cardi. And Trevor Nakanye is being penalised for that one. He puts up his hand and apologises for it. And good on you for a box support. I'm 100% box support in Ireland. Great record versus South Africa last 10 years, says TOC. Okay, Dan Bigger just working out where the mark is so he can kick this one downfield into touch. Only 22 minutes in. Bigger finds the touchline. But yeah, the concern for Cheslin Colby, they haven't actually shown a replay of where that injury came from, but I believe it was earlier on when Wales were on attack. I think he got hit high on the jaw. And it might have put his jaw back a little bit and maybe might have had some sort of break. So hopefully it's not too bad. And Foster was so bad in the press conference. Did anyone watch that, says Martin? I watched the first couple minutes. Then I realized it was going to be impossible to hear the questions. And Sam Cane was very quiet as well. So I decided to give it a miss. But I believe it was just the same stuff we've heard before, how it's Ireland played well. We didn't play well. That was it, pretty much. Martin Smith, yes, I am. Thanks, True Story, not ladies. But our school amalgamated with another one, the soccer school, and we were 13. What a fiasco, best regards, mate. So here's Alan King now. It's going to be a great backline movement here for South Africa. Damien Willemse claiming that ball. That's a great counter ruck from Wales, but it's going back for the initial knock-on against the Welsh. Imagine Faf playing in the backline, says RJJ. It could happen, although I think before they get to that stage, I think Jaden Hendrickson might drop into the backline just to have Faf de Klerk as still an option. Scrum half. I mean, there's a couple big forwards. I guess you could put. Who would you put in the back line? If you had to pick any South African forward who's currently playing in the match or coming off the bench, who would you go with? In Henry? Well, I say Henry is, but why are you in a suit? It's a massive match. So as you guys know, anytime there's a massive match, we do end up wearing a suit for the occasion in Ireland and never won a World Cup. So the Must says reality always wins. The basic answer for coaches if you take 1 week at a time, says Xavier. And yes, agree. I did not inspire confidence whatsoever, says Patrick. I'm back. Oh, we scored, says Stuart. You did indeed. It was a raffle in the end who did go over the line. Be interesting to see what happens now that you are back, Stuart, though. I feel like surely you're not the jinx of the Welsh. And also, is it? Says Sam Henry, we have done it for probably about 50 live streams on the channel or something along those lines. The All Blacks suck, says Sam Henry. And also, it's a penalty now to Wales. No, sorry, penalty now to South Africa for the front rows going down. I believe we've had a penalty at every single scrum. So Samoa better than Fiji, says Xavier. And Shushlo, says Stuart. And they have it now. 2 against both props. Okay, we need the feet up and we need it square as a going ball. We always mistakenly for humans. It's a bird with 2 legs and a long beak, says Nathan there. And also, how many dead worms so far in the game? I'd say quite a few, the way that it has been getting ripped up. And field position says Hanger Rat. They have now kicked it downfield and about 45 metres out from the Welsh line. South Africa will have the line out. And this is why I won't be watching the Rugby World Cup in 2023. And I think the Bok must ask Anas Borta to come and help. Here's Rena. And also, only time I wear a suit is in court, says Floyd Kingy. Is that like a common occurrence, Floyd, or is that only a rarity? And also, yes, now for a dry box, says Alta. And also, I would like to see Andre Esterhuizen and in the Springboks. They play well together for the Sharks, says Brennan. And yeah, we have just seen once that Andre Esterhuizen has got himself the chance at Springbok level. That was last game. I would like to see that combination in the midfield, though. I feel like it would be relatively dangerous as Esterhuizen really plays well for the Harlequins, crashing the ball hard. And also, come on, boys, make it bigger, damn Ben-Hur. And also, Andre Pollard, 10, Wales 5, says Rugby scorer now. Makazole Mapimpi passes it out wide. It's gone over the top of Lukanu arm with a little knock on. But once again, we do go back for another penalty against Wales, and it's a double blow of the whistle. I think this is last morning stuff here for Wales. They were down to 12 men in the last little while. And also, Kiwi, congrats on the Kiwis today. Says Lisa van der Merwe. Yeah, they didn't exactly go well, did they? I mean, I'd say congratulations to Will Jordan. He seemed to do all right. But yeah, Ireland, they were phenomenal in that matchup, and they have been great throughout the whole tour. They really did deserve it. And yeah, I'm very happy for them as well. The penalties conceded, that is a huge amount against Wales. They have conceded 8 penalties compared to the 1 of the Springboks. And the guy who tackled like a 6-year-old says Floyd Kingy. I think rugby should allow a new law, a mole like tunnelling underground, pop up and score a try, says Martin Smith. It's an interesting one. I don't know whether or not World Rugby would agree with the moling under the ground just because of the maybe pitch damage. But other than that, I think it's an all right one. Now they might consider in the future. They brought in 50-22s. Who knows? And also that Will Jordan try was classy. He just decided he was quicker than Sexton, and he certainly wasn't. Go Bok, says Lisa there. Now nicely taken by Lutiacha at the back. Bongi Umbanambi at the back. It looks like Eben Etzebeth is getting stomped over by all of his teammates for his 100th test match. He's getting welcomed. Oh, same maul now. Bongi Umbanambi still sits at the back waiting for this one. Possibly pop out for a chance. Now it's been dragged down. If Wales take this one down, it would end up being probably a penalty and a yellow card, but instead, now breaking off the back, it's Jasper Visa. Looks like it's a good clean out from Wales. They got it back, but now straight over the ball, Makazole Mapimpi almost able to win the penalty advantage. And Jordy Barrett missing that penalty at 53rd. A minute to lock at 25 all was the turning point, says Martin Smith. Now Lewis Rees-Zammit kicks it downfield. It's a good clearance, but it hasn't found touch. Now it's danger. Damien Dialende, in fact, it's Pollard back there now. Gives it off to Willie LaRue. Tries to step. It's done all right as well, but Tommy Reffel, the try scorer for Wales, has got him down. Jaden Henriksen. Now off to Makazole Mapimpi, the quick step and feed, but Josh Navidi been able to take him down. What number's Josh Navidi? Is he in the starting lineup? Or did he come off the bench? Because I see that Alun Jones is also out there on the field. So I think there's a couple injuries at the moment for Wales. And also here comes a try for the Boks, says Alta. And also go Bok, he can do it, says Ari Smith. And how is the pitch? Might be the reason for the penalties. Yeah, the scrum has been penalised many times throughout this contest. So I would say maybe a little bit rough underfoot in terms of it kind of breaking up a little bit more than they would anticipate. But you do kind of have to adapt to that, unfortunately, or else you get yourself in a bit more trouble. But it is actually the penalty to the Springboks, penalty to Wales currently. Okay, they're taking another water break, so it must be very hot at the moment. Matthew Carley's decided he has had enough for now. And I think Dan Bigg is saying, why are we taking a water break? Because the momentum was starting to possibly shift, and also the pitch is green hanger. And also, and any other performance-based professional occupation, Fozzie would be toast, says George there. Yeah, wouldn't be good for him, would it? I mean, I've still got him on a stick, which I feel like is what a lot of people probably want. They probably want his head on a stick at this stage so that he looks like that. That's Stuart Hogg, except my printer didn't like him very much, so it spat him out as a zombie. But I might have to change my stick. Who else could I have on the other side of the stick, ladies and gentlemen, rather than zombie Stuart Hogg? Who do you think deserves to have their face right there? Do let me know. And Box using longer studs, maybe, says Jeff. And a Wales try would be very awesome, says Martin. And then also pinches shorts of my granny's clothesline. And come on, Wales, says Nov Mum there. Nuss was a great player, says Alta. But they're just showing that backline once again that led to the Welsh try. And I'm blinded, says Fluffy. And the Irish made history in New Zealand today. Glasshouse says it was hanger at. Yeah, it was absolutely incredible what the Irish were able to do. And also, we have got, when do you think the decline started for the ABs? Was it after the draw series against the Lions or after the 2019 World Cup? I'd say probably the World Cup has been when we've seen the record struggle a little bit more for the All Blacks. And also was ridiculous Fozzie getting the job instead of Razor a couple of years ago, says Martin. Now Dan Bigger will be kicking this one for the touchline. Currently 28 minutes through this match, but anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe like I mentioned. We are going to be back for the Rugby Championship. We have got qualifying matches next week. And also later on today, we are going to be covering Scotland versus Argentina. That's going to be possibly the best game of the weekend. And that's a bold call, but I think they're going to be head-to-head, toe-to-toe. And it's going to be a brilliant one to watch. Alun Jones taking that one nicely now. Short ball off to George North. Dangerous ball carrier. Kieran Hardy goes back to Bigger. Tries to step through, finds the offload to Will Rowlands. And good low tackle made on him by Jasper Vez. And now Franz Mahaba helps drag him down. Now Nick Tompkins. Quick ball on the outside, waiting for this one to sit up. It's George North ball on the outside. Liam Williams. One more to Josh Navidi, but it doesn't find him. And it has go on and touch any spare KFC, anyone, I would absolutely love some KFC. Like, that seems to be, it's not a good habit to have, but after our live streams, it's become the thing the last 2 weeks. We have ended up having KFC on the Sunday after doing like the 16 or 17 hours of live stream, and also we were there with Al. Says the fuller team there, and also Fozzie is carrying on Hanson's game, which everyone has worked out, says Floyd King, and also is the game going to be shown on here. Sadly, we are unable to show match footage due to licensing, but if we could, we certainly would. But it is going to be hopefully a replay on the Springboks YouTube channel. They might end up doing the whole game. It would be awesome if they did. It's a great habit, mate, says Nuzzy Williams. Although it's an expensive habit because like KFC is not cheap for it. Definitely because we have to travel like 30 minutes to get it. Gee, that touch judge almost got knocked over. Says no, mum, yeah, he ducked very quickly. Get out of the way of that one now. High from Jaden Hendrickson. 30 minutes through this contest. Lewis Rees-Zammit takes it beautifully under the high ball. He's tackled by Makazole Mapimpi and Damian Valimza, who have a counter-ruck attempt. Still on the side of Wales. What a tackle, says BDV. And also, honestly, the ABS lost some of the best players after the 2019 World Cup. Some of my favourite players retired back then, says Hanger at. Now, once again, Wales will be looking for a possible box kick at the moment. 10 minutes left in this first half, and that's true, says Nazi Williams. Gone high once again. Lewis Rees-Zammit going to be trying to line it up in the air. It's bounced back onto the side of Tommy Reffel, and Wales got possession back. So they've actually done all right in the aerial contest throughout this match. Dan Bigger has a bit of a juggle. Now passing it off. That was a weird accent. I don't know where that came from. I don't even know if that was Welsh or English or anywhere, really. Dan Bigger goes for the kick in behind. It's a decent one as well. Willie LaRue cleans up 2 veterans of the game, and Shirley has become a member. Thank you very much, Shirley. Hugely appreciated there. And 2015 AB side was the best I've seen in 30 years. And Northern Hemisphere come in leaps and bounds, to be honest, because of the changes in domestic level setup, provincial setup in Wales, Scotland, and Ireland raised the bar at domestic. The side's been playing higher intensity since. And I should actually mention there are rumours going on at the moment that will involve the Currie Cup sides that aren't in the URC, and also the A sides of Leinster, Ulster, and Munster, and also Connacht, I think, are another side. They might have a 7-leg or 7-team competition for those guys in Northern Hemisphere. Play good footy, says King, and there they certainly do. And also Hanger, I hope Wales hang on, and also 1987 side was probably best side in 60 years, and welcome Shirley. Says Nathan, a late 60s side with Pine Tree Meads was best ever, and is at halftime right now. Currently not quite. We have still got another 10 minutes left of the half, but they have got another stoppage. I think it's almost a third drinks break of the half. Currently a lot of dancing going on at the ground, that is for sure. Everyone loving the atmosphere. And also they need to slap him with baby powder, says Junior Ryder. Alwyn Jones does have a little bit more hydration for himself. That man's got a beard that is quite impressive. That's why they are showing him. There are quite a few good beards out there. I'm trying to think of the best beard that any player's got on the field currently. Does anyone have a proper beard? Lucanio Arm might be the best beard out there. Now I think about it. Does anyone have a better beard than Lucanio Arm? Jaden Hendricks has got a little bit of a chin strap going on. At the moment, everyone else, though, I think is almost clean-shaven. Lewis Rees-Zammit, can he even grow facial hair? That's the question. He is still young, and he's just got himself a 50-22 possibly. And King Country Meads. Oh, no, it was taken back into the half, so it does just become the advantage. Or, sorry, it does become the line-out for the Springboks in that one. And also, South African time, 5:48 time, and in New Zealand, 3:47 a.m. What a legend. Hamish brother there. And yeah, at the moment, we are sitting almost 4 a.m. New Zealand time, but we have still got one more live stream tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to the 5th out of 6 live streams that we are doing. Wouldn't it be funny if there was a player named Beard who has a beard? I mean, there's Adam Beard, but I don't think he's got one, sadly. I think he's pretty clean-shaven at the moment, but it's a missed opportunity, isn't it? Penalty for Wales for offside against the Springboks. Right, this is an easy 3 if they want it. I think you've got to go for the 3 because you don't want to risk going a little bit too aggressive at the end of the first half. And Martin, old man like I am, I followed Ben Lahore's ABs in 1969. Great. Their haka was terrible, though. So here's Alan Wright. Dan Bigger will be taking on the 3 points, and this will make it only a 2-point game. No beard. It's pretty beardless, says Stuart Lee. Yeah, I think Jaden Hendricks is probably the best beard in terms of the most bushy, the bushiest beard out there on the park. Although Franz Malhaber's got a little bit of one, and same with Sia Khaleesi. Okay, the crowd aren't happy with that decision in Northern Hemisphere Rugby. Best year is always a year before the World Cup. And let's hope they continue their forms throughout 2023. And one needs KFC when the ABs and Warriors lose in the same weekends. KFC heals the soul. So, yeah, I guess if anyone wants to help with the KFC fund for the Kiwi lads, be sure to hit that membership button. Be sure to hit that $sign. And I can guarantee it goes straight into KFC. But more than likely, the thing is, for dietary reasons, if there's no donations, that kind of means that I'll be healthier. You know, so it's a little bit of a 50-50, but that one has gone over. And now the score is going to be 10 points to 8. And go on, Wales, keep the Northern Hemisphere win streak going. And no hot water for the showers in 1860. And also, Beards, your jealous man, says, Jeff, well, I had to shave mine, unfortunately, because South Africa lost. So I had to get rid of all this and just leave the mustache, which was a bit of a shame because, I mean, it wasn't a great beard, but it wasn't terrible. You know, it was just one that you'd be like, not the best, but it's there. And 2015 was the best AB's team ever. And I've been from South Africa. I am free to pick the Springboks. So here's a hanger at. Now, back across 22 metres out currently for the Springboks. I can feel an advantage coming soon for them against Wales. And that might be close to a yellow card, depending on what the penalty is for. But now waiting for it once again. Jaden Hendrickson fires it back to Andre Pollard. Now back to Willie LaRue. Tries to step. He goes round off the Lucanio Amu's close to the touchline. Didn't have a lot of room at all to try and manoeuvre. Up to 8 phases now. Jesper Visa, pop pass up to Peter Steph-Toy. Straight over the ball on Wyn Jones, but he has lost the footing. Now Andre Pollard, flat ball off the Etzebeth, 2 experienced heads for the Springboks coming together. Now Pollard, once again, Willie LaRue, off to Makazole Mapimpi, tackled by Lewis Rees-Zammit. Hendrickson goes back to Jesper Visa. This is good. Oh, this is great phase play, I should say. Oh, inside ball. But Hendrickson didn't have anyone with him. Oh, that's a big shot from Makazole Mapimpi. It might have been a bit high, and they are actually going to be stopping this for a second to make sure he's all right. He's getting back up to his feet. Says he's all right. Nick Tompkins and also hand come down. I say, may the best team win in it. So if South Africa lose, will you shave them off? Says Novmum. At this stage, Scotland also have to win. Luckily, that's my last one. And also, we have got thank you for getting up early and giving us commentary on the match. Some of us do not have satellite TV, says Jeff. Yeah, currently we are actually still awake from our 11:30 a.m. live stream on the previous day. So we have been going for approximately on and off about it's a few, maybe 15 hours or so on and off on the channel, and we have still got one more live stream a little bit later on. I don't know, man, I was mistaken, says Jeff. Although, to be fair, George, one of the other Kiwi lads, says pretty much that I look like I had pubes on my face. That was his description. And also, do we want an obese presenting Kiwi lads? Do not donate to the KFC fund, says Floyd Kingy. And there is Owen also, no way. I love making jokes, Hanger. And also, I am calm. I think I am getting to you, says Hanger. And boys have weathered the storm. Well, says a Fluffy. And currently now, penalty to Wales. That was for the high shot. Now with 5 minutes left, it's still very close. My scoreboard's still very slow because it is actually 8 points for Wales at the moment. But they haven't quite got it on the board. And also, my ex-wife could beat them in all respect of the beards. Are probably a big dick too. Jeez. And that beard is making its way back, Hamish. Not long now, and we'll be back. Says Hangarat. Yeah, that's the thing. Kiwi lads, we got someone called Isaac. Some of you guys will know Isaac. That man grows a mean beard. Like, his beard grows so quickly. Tell you what, I've got a picture of Isaac. I just put it. Look at that beard. And it's even fuller now than it is in that picture. I just headbutted the wall. That was unfortunate. But they have gone short there for Wales. But yeah, he's got a very impressive beard. The envy is real. Also, 3 Web Alice Cups. I'm done. Plates full in the America's Cup. I'm full as well, says Nathan. Beards are cool. Shaving sucks, says Martin Smith. And then now nice work from South Africa once again. I turn that ball over in the breakdown. And pubic hair salesman. Now there's an opportunity, says Timothy Williams. I mean, we have done a Manscaped, I guess, sponsorship in there. And Isaac eating your chair like spaghetti. Says RJJ, nice back line. Sia Khaleesi now running in, trying to get to the try line, but just ends up pulling up short. Oh, Kieran Hardy's injured here. Doesn't look too flash from him. It looks like Ready out of Suicide Squad, that pick does. Says Fluffier. Bit of push and shove. Oh. Josh Adams. Oh, they're still trying to play on, but I think the commentators, or not the commentators, sorry, the referee is just about to have a bit of a chat with the two. Okay, well, the Roo has been told to back up, and I again go Springboks. Says Danya there. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're excited for the rest of this game. Currently, the scoreboard's a little bit behind. It is currently 8 points to South Africa and 8 to Wales. 10 points to South Africa, 8 to Wales. And also double tier halftime for me, says Alta. We had a clear deal before the game. Okay, so, right, the warning's back on for them, and ref giving them the hard words. He did indeed. So pretty much in that case, it was said that they had the advantage. They lost it because of the push and shove that was happening off the ball. Last warning, Damian Dialende and Josh Adams, they shook hands. It's weird to shake hands with just the one hand or the two hands of yourself. They did that. Gave them one of those as well. And now South Africa have got themselves a penalty. Only a few minutes out. How much time left on that yellow card? Says Hanging Rat. No yellow card as of yet, but they're on their final warning for a second half win. The box is a must. And also we have got, sounds like a scratch record, but you're a champion, Amish. The energy you keep from the first minute commentating till the last, after a couple or more games, is amazing. Seriously, says Nazi Williams as well. I do appreciate that a lot, mate. Yeah, I have no idea how I don't lose my voice for one, and also don't lose energy throughout these live streams. I think it's just that much excitement that I just keep on carrying through the night, no matter who's playing. Like, I could watch Namibia versus Uruguay, and I'd still love watching the game. I doubt Hamish is human, probably a deep fake Sentinet or Sentinet. I've missed that one. Or it's a nice try for Bongi on Bonambi. I couldn't say it. It was a rolling maul for the Springboks, and Bongi on Bonambi in his 50th match does go over. That was a hard word to try and say, I learned. Umbanambi. Oh, Nambi, there we go. Bongi Umbanambi scores in his 50th match, and that is his 11th test try for South Africa, coming at the perfect time as well, just before halftime. Bongi Umbanambi. I hope I spelt that correctly, I should say. And also, podcasting is a great job, says Martin. And also, I live in Melbourne and 3 NRL Premiership. And 3 NRL Premiership I'm really for. And also, Springbok will do all that. Please don't stress too much, says Johnny. And that try will certainly help them out. I'm hoping the scoreboard now will give Wales the points that they did get, but it still has not yet. And what just happened was chicken the barbecue. So it was a rolling maul. Bongi Umbanambi went over for his try in his 50th test match. And the other side of things there was that the Springboks, rather than taking on the easy 3, they went for the corner, which is very aggressive from the box, but it's worked out for them. And it is very nicely done indeed. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated, every single one of you, for being here. Pretty good, better than the wife, who is South African, says Mr. TP. And that one's gone over. Good kick from Andre Pollard. And now it is going to be 17 points to 8. And this one on Bok forwards again, says Floyd. Yeah, they've just got size. They've got strength. And they've got the capabilities of being able to go far. And in this competition, one moment, we will go like this. And we will go like this as well. There we go. Now it's going to be kicked off once again for Wales. 1 minute left of this first half. Umbanami not blundered or blundering like the Weber last week. And you mean Golden State Warrior. And that one. But now on the 22 here currently for the Springboks. Number 1, that's enough from you. So another warning for them in this contest. And also there is still time left. There certainly is. And also, do you know the famous Keith Murdoch story? I do not, but that name sounds familiar. Keith Murdoch. Who is Keith Murdoch? Do let me know. And also, we had tries there, scrumptious, and Pollard, man of the match, great player. He has been doing extremely well throughout this game. Wales, they want to try and get themselves a counter try. It's going to be, ripped away by Huaka Smith. What's he doing out there? Who's he on there for? I think that might actually be for Jasper Visa. Now kicked him behind from Damian Dialende. It's a foot race. Lukanyuam trying to keep it in. Oh, he's kicked it into touch. The football skills just weren't quite there for Lukanyuam. I know South Africa normally struggle a little bit when it comes to football, but that was not the kick that he was after. And also from the A team. And how about Golden Vodafone Warriors? And try to say Mb and Mbonambi together. Says it's scrumptious there. And also, if you say Keith Murdoch 3 times in front of a broken mirror, bad things will happen. And asking he might know, says Rena. Right. It's going to be the line out thrown now for Wales. Now, the question is, with a 9-point deficit, are they happy enough going into halftime with that deficit inside of their own 22? I think they will be. He was an AB in 1972, and he quit and suddenly disappeared to a tiny town in Australian outback. Says Martin in the Golden State Warriors do my winning status overloaded. Says it was Nathan. Taken nicely. And now Wales, I believe they will kick this one into touch. Kieran Hardy does just that. And now halftime in this contest. South Africa sitting on 17 and Wales sitting on the 8. And also AB historian, and you don't know Keith Murdoch, shame. Says Alan King there. Yeah, I have to say that my knowledge probably doesn't quite go as far back as I would like it to at the moment. Also, AB's prop 50 years ago. And also Boxer carrying the honour of the ABs and the Wallabies in this game. They can't afford to lose. Don't want the clean sweep today. Says hang around. And that's the thing, if they end up with the Northern Hemisphere clean sweep, I'm going to be clean on the top lip. The top lip, I should say. And I feel like my face would look very naked without it. And Murdoch was sent home for punching a bouncer in a Cardiff hotel. Never returned to New Zealand, says Timothy Williams. And yeah, at halftime in this contest, 17 points to 8. So a good performance from both of these sides. You'd have to say that the Springboks, the way that they started this match, it did seem like maybe a little bit more of a lead would be coming, but Wales still fighting hard with the try of Tommy Reffel, and Murdoch now roams the outskirts of Tennant Creek looking for his lost mouthguard. Says Fluffy there, and did Murdoch ever see old ABs, mate? Says Martin there, and belted a Welsh security guard and was sent home from the tour, says Floyd Kingy. And then Rip Murdoch, he had a great beard in his day, and he will soon be in Rolleston. I actually know where Rolleston is. It's just up the road from myself. A couple of hours, if we are talking about the same Rolleston, of course. In 50 years, what about Wilson Winnery? Then as well, says Alan, I remember who was the winger? The real small winger. Frank, was it? No. Bruce. Frank Bruce? No. What was his name? The one who was really tiny but still played extremely well for his size. And also Murdoch owns NRL and the AFL. He calls the shots. Says Nathan in there as well. But the position in that first half, you'd have to say South Africa did have the advantage. Jeff Wilson. And there says RJJ. Currently, second half. I think we're going to see that intensity from the Springboks continue on. Frank Bunce, that's the name. And there, Frank Bruce, he's the one off the Only Fools Will Have Him or whatever it is, that comedy show, isn't he? Is that who Frank Bruce is? Oh, that's France. Frank. How does one spell Frank? I've already forgot. Frank, there it is. Frank Bruce. Sculpture. Okay, he's not the one that I was thinking of. And I was a bit frustrated that. And Grant Buddy, small winger. And yes, in the North Island, says Rena. And also, no, bro, it's Manu Vatuvei, especially with the imports, says Junior Ryder. Yeah, no, he got in a bit of trouble, didn't he, Manu Vatuvei? Unfortunately, spending a bit of time in the naughty cell, I used to call that. It reminds me of, that's a hard name. But I see refrigerator almost at the end of it. Or refrigerator? New refrigerator. Got to buy a refrigerator. Okay, I've just seen what it is in there as well. But we will get some stats to do with this first half, ladies and gentlemen, to see exactly who was getting the better of it. And Murdoch had a mo, not a beard. And as I says, Floyd Kingy. So the stats for this first half, 61% possession in favour of the Springboks. Territory actually in favour of Wales with 59%. And then alongside that, 2 tries for the Springboks. One scored by, it was Bongi Ombanumbi, more of a recent try. And then the first try of the match was scored by Andre Pollard. Just the one try for Wales. And that was Tommy Reffel was able to get himself over the try line. Meters made 155 for the Springboks, 107 for Wales. Defenders beaten. We've actually seen more Welsh players beating defenders than the Springboks. 2 clean breaks, though, for South Africa, and a few more offloads. And then also when it comes to YouTube rugby commentary for specific teams for me, BK Sport, AU, Kiwi Lads, Rugby Championship, New Zealand Rugby Guru, Forever Sports, South Africa, and Rugby Ascendants, and we shall usually default. Says Sammy Souza. So I do appreciate that. I will take me in default every day of the week. Of course, like anytime you're in the settings of a game, set it back to default, and we will still be here. No matter what, I'll fill us in, Junior Ryder. I don't follow Warriors or Rugby League. I'm interested, and we need to bring Fraf on. Hendrickson is not ready yet. Says Ruan there, Nahimi. It was Grant Batty, says Robert Henry there. And man of the match, what a lovely clean place, New Zealand. Oh man, sorry, what a lovely clean place, New Zealand in the North Island. I love fly fishing, says Rena there. And currently, I mean, that's the thing. We've seen quite a bit of, I guess, box kicks in here. So we've seen quite a few go high. That for some reason, that's felt like a normal transition because we've actually got somewhere called the Waiho box near us. And that is kind of like where you go fishing. So that was one that only I will really get, I guess. And also after the break, Wales, we have to deal with a bomb squad. There's Russell there. And we've actually already seen the injury of Chesil and Colby, which is one benefit for Wales, although they've already made the sub of Alan Jones and Josh Navidi. Those were due to the head knocks of, I believe it was number 6, Lydiot, and also one of the locks. I believe it would have been Adam Beard has gone off the field. And old mate Manu got done for importing meth and played for the Warriors. And he's going to have a real tough time against these blokes, or against these blokes, says Nazi Williams. They certainly will. I love the fish and chips shops. It is easier to catch. It certainly is. And I think Hendrick's distribution has been good. Says Gareth and Wales will take this game, says Mike Wood. It's going to be an exciting one, that is for sure. But they made 67 tackles in that first half, missing 7 compared to the defensive stat of South Africa, making 45 tackles and missing 9. For me, fishing means quality time with my father. We love it, says Sebastian there. And you'll need a very small hooks for the flies. And why put on the wing? Why not Willie on the wing? Says Grant. Or the other option, I guess, could have been a bit of a reshuffle with maybe Willie LaRue dropping a fullback and then Damien Valimza might be in there. And also, I suck at fly fishing, but I'm not giving up. That is the spirit. At the end of the day, at first, if you don't succeed, try again, and hopefully you will eventually. I don't think that's exactly how the saying goes, but yeah, fishing's normally a very good time. I remember fishing probably about a good 5 years ago, me and Dad fishing for trout, and also very sharp, fluffy, says Hang a Rat. Yeah, and yeah, keep trying, mate. Says Rena, come on, Wales, Northern Hemisphere, 2 for 2 so far, looking towards the sweep. Says Coleman, also my father chucks me in the river when we go fishing, says Fluffy, and only fish I know when she at the shop. And also Wales is creating overlaps every time any attack. Something is not right with that defence in the back line. Can't place my finger on it. Seems to be better since Willie is on that fullback, says Ryan. And I'd say that it seems to be a lot more missed tackles for the Springboks than normal. They have actually missed 20% of the tackles they've attempted. A few of those were Damien Valimza at the back in the early stages. So I think as soon as that line break starts to open up, the way that the Springboks play, it's a very structured kind of up with the defensive line, and then you got a few guys back for cover. But as soon as that front line breaks and then they end up getting through, then there's those big gaps opening up, which is similar to what we saw when Josh Adams did end up getting himself the try. And at first you don't succeed. You go to the pub for beers, says Mike. Well, that might be more like it, I guess. And also we have got there, oh, come on, man, let's show love for Manu. When you're an Islander family takes all your money, he was broke, sad to say, says Nazi Williams there. And also Wales is creating, oh no, I read that one. And also Willie started as a wing. It was great at the Cheetahs, says Gareth, and destroy all evidence that you tried, says RJJ, and show them box, says Berenice. And if at first you don't succeed, chuck a dynamite into the lake. That's throwing me back to the Simpsons, isn't it? I went fishing, went sailing. I love fishing, went sailing, and it was great. Boom, says Nathan. I think teams have figured us out a bit with our defensive pattern, I think that will be from Gareth. And also Bok need to break barrier. I mean, Bulls beat Leinster and Ireland beat New Zealand today. 10 changes to the box squad need to perform, says though there. And also looking through at the reserves that the Springboks have gone with for this contest, they are yet to make the change in Malcolm Marks, Stephen Kitsoff, and Vincent Koch. Although Vincent Koch might actually almost be out on the field, maybe, if I'm not wrong. Who's looking the better team? I would say South Africa. They've looked a little bit more attacking in the way that they've been playing, and also a few good line breaks coming for the Boks throughout this contest as well. But Quaka Smith already out on the field. Franco Moster is not yet. Heinrich Lowe still yet to come off the bench. And Faf de Klerk, Willie LaRue actually coming out onto the field for Cheslin Colby. Abigail said, how can I watch the game? Depends on what country you're in, but your best bet is probably DSTV if you're in South Africa. If you're not in South Africa, though, Stan Sport have it in New Zealand. Sky have it in Stan Sport have it in Australia. Sky have it in New Zealand. And then your other option is probably with a VPN. I think you can set yourself to be an Irish, maybe. And who thinks some of the ABs? Barca says Floyd King. There are a few that are really having to work. No disrespect, Vince Cock got teased at school, says Nazi Williams there. And also no Mike South Africa will win, says Berenice. Yeah, and also it could be man, says Rowan in the chat. But second half just around the corner for Wales. They've already had to make the change of Alan Jones and Josh Navidi. I believe Thomas Williams won't be too far making his way off or making his way on the field, and they already had the injury of Gareth Anscombe in the training. So because of that, it did mean they have got a different man at number 22 box. They have strength and attacking game. The mind's the only problem, says Dull there. And also, I guess the bomb squad are going to make their appearance now, says Hangarat. Yeah, I don't think they'll wait too long before making those subs in the front row. Bongi Umbanambi. The problem is, if you want to have him on there, you probably aren't going to make the other subs and your props just yet, because you want to have them all out there at the same time, just because that's when the bomb squad are their most effective. Ian Foster needs it, or he needs a boot. And thanks, my friend Alta. And wait, who did Quaka come on for? I believe Quaka Smith is on the field for Jasper Visa, who I haven't actually seen in the last little while. Peter Steptotoy is still out there. And also, I believe Sia Khaleesi is out there. So I think it was Quaka Smith who came. Oh, sorry, not Quaka Smith. Jasper Visa who came on, and Quaka replaced Visa. And when Irish eyes are smiling, oh, what a beautiful day. Everyone is going my way. Well, everything is going my way. What memories must speak to New Zealand, says Porter there. And yeah, it's going to be a tour that the Irish remember for a very long time. Same with England, beating Australia in their tour. South Africa, they want to get this win to get a little bit more hype up for the Southern Hemisphere. We need a win here just to try and get a 2-2. Who's on 8th man now, says Hangarat. So I believe they have got Jasper Visa off the field, and Quaka Smith will be slotting in at number 8. Foster shouldn't have got the head job in the first place. We all knew it. Here's Nazi Williams. And also, I agree 100% earlier on from Hangarat. And also, I'm in South Africa. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think the only option is DSTV, which can be quite expensive, unfortunately, just for the... I don't even know if they've got a free trial, sadly. But if they do, I would recommend saving it for the Rugby Championship. What time does rugby finish? Says Yogi. So this game will be finishing at around 5 a.m. New Zealand time. Then we have got an extra 2 hours that we will be staying up for. And then we are covering that match between Argentina and Scotland a little bit later on in the night. And that will be kicking off at 7:10 a.m. New Zealand time. I'm assuming Khaleesi and Peter Steptotoy are going to, or both going to be replaced. The Locks are going to do an 80, says Gareth there. Although I guess that's the real big benefit of having Franco Mostert as an option. Because at the end of the day, you've got a lock in your arsenal if you need him. You've got a loose forward if you need him. It's going to be pretty awesome. Also, okay, thanks, please cover. Says Yogi. So yeah, we are going to be covering that matchup taking place between Argentina and Scotland as well. Jake White made some comments earlier this week that come to the senses. He knows out of experience, says so there. And also, Foster hasn't brought anything new to the table since he took over, says Floyd. And how much time is left? It is still 40 minutes left of this match, I'm assuming. Oh, no, I read that one. And also, you hang and also Mehmet has legs before and after, says Nathan. And also, I see you like sailing, Rena. I'm always in my hangar getting ready to fly. Sailing a little slow for me, says Hangarat. For that one. That makes sense for the name now that I think about it. And but is it halftime? Yeah, it certainly is. So currently sitting 17 points to 8. South Africa have got themselves the lead. Pollard and Umbanombi been able to score the 2 tries for South Africa. And then Tommy Reffel was the try scorer for the Welsh. And also Foster has brought something new, Floyd. Worst coaching AB's record. And he's lost the AB's mystical vibe, says Nazi Williams. And there as well. Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one for the All Blacks for where they go from here. But South Africa, they are certainly hoping to get the first win for a Southern Hemisphere team of this round. And 116 likes, awesome. Smash that like button and subscribe if you are new, says BTV. And also we have got there Bok to restore the Southern Hemisphere rugby pride. Let's do this, says Ryan, and nothing good, says Floyd Kingy. And there as well. I think the second half is probably about 2 minutes away, I guess, if I had to. And yeah, if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also check out that channel membership and the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. This is our other channel that we have got on YouTube where we cover things that that aren't just rugby league. And I love sailing. This was on a yacht, or I love sailing, was on a yacht for over a year. So great man, says Rena and Foster eras. Reminds me of the John Mitchell era. I'll never forgive him for leaving Cullen out of the 2003 World Cup. And also mystical vibe, says Floyd Kingy. So I guess I should ask the question, ladies and gentlemen. Commonwealth Games are just around the corner. I think I'll take a lot more than this to restore the Southern Hemisphere rugby pride, with all due respect, says Sebastian. I agree. There are a lot of questions being asked at the moment for us Southern Hemisphere boys, and we're going to have to try and find a way around it and get back ready to go for that Rugby World Cup in only a year's time as well. I think Wales will start throwing the ball around in the second half, says Jeff. And at least Box tested their depth in the squad last week. The experience win sometime. As doing, yeah, Floyd, I like that one, mate, says Nazi Williams. And there as well. But yeah, I should mention the Commonwealth Games just around the corner we are actually going to be covering the sevens on the channel, which includes South Africa as one of the sides in that comp. But alongside that, we do actually want to cover a few of the other matches or other sports that are taking place for the Commonwealth Games. One moment, we will go like this. And we will go like this as well. What we're quickly going to do, we will get the link to the Kiwi Lad Sport. That will actually be the channel that we do cover the other Commonwealth Games sports on. We will be doing the sevens on the main channel, but on another channel, we are going to be doing all of the other ones. So which games from the Commonwealth Games, which events would you guys like to see us cover on the Kiwi Lad Sport channel? We will try our best to cover as many as possible, and will Rugby 22 be added to the Game Pass, says Sebastian. Not that I know of or not that I've heard of yet, but it would be great if it was, because then at least people wouldn't have to pay for a game that's all right, I guess you could say. And it is good. Sure, are they enjoying it at the best way, says Rena. And I am still looking forward to our Cricket 22, Sebastian. Some stage, and any South African supporters out there, we have got quite a few in the sevens, says Floyd Keeney. So yeah, sevens is confirmed that we will definitely be covering it on the channel. But I guess it's just a question of which other sports and events would you guys like to see us cover for the Commonwealth Games. And also we have got there the beach volleyball, of course, from Sebastian. And do you know if we're playing France in November, says Junior Right? I'll have a quick look, see what I can find for the All Blacks. I know that South Africa are playing Ireland, which is probably that big match that I'm looking forward to. We play England as well, actually, as another match that we have got. But the All Blacks, where are we? One moment. All Blacks, in 20 days we play South Africa. And in the same breath, very sad for the Ferns. All the talent in the world had a record loss to Ireland, says Doe there. And also, yes, Batsy. And there, so looking through, we are playing Wales, Scotland, and England at this stage, are the three that are confirmed. But we might have a couple other matches that we do end up having a little bit later on. And also, yes, Patsy. And also, I'm a South African supporter. Don't tell Rena. Makes him mad. Says hanging rat. No England, sorry, says Nathan. And that is going to be a penalty straight away for Wales. Right, the question is, do they take the 3 points early on from 22 metres out of the second half? Oh, Peter Steph's Toy has been penalised once again. That's about his third or fourth one, so I think he will be going off relatively soon. Don't think they'll take the risk leaving him out there. It looks like Dan Bigger will be taking on the 3 points. And also, when do you suggest we make the Cricket 22 video, says Sebastian? Just anytime you do end up with a bit of free time, don't want to put too much extra pressure on you, because I guess it depends on what type of match we do, whether it is a short format one or whether it's a long format, and just everything along those lines. But just, yeah, any time that you are free, we'll try and get it filmed. It may not get edited straight away. I will mention we've got videos from 2 months ago that are still sitting there, but I'm hoping I would be able to get it up within a decent amount of time. Definitely before the Cricket World Cup, though. I would like to get it up, and shame on you, Jeff, says Berenice there. And also we have got, we built a Warren catamaran. Went sailing. First stop was Ascension Island, where there was lots of nice American guys, says Rena. But now Wales trying to close the gap to less than 7. And that's gone straight down the middle from Dan Bigger. The score now 17 points to 11 in favour of South Africa. So still 6 points. Rena, they must be from Texas. Here's Hanger Rat. Now, Welsh crowd happy with that one. Rena's a pirate. And there as well, says Fluffia. I don't think just because you have a boat makes you a pirate, Fluffy. I've actually been on a boat before. I did some sailing at a bay up the road. We actually did mini sailboats, right? As soon as I get back from England, I left my Xbox at home, says Sebastian. So do you know what date you are heading back, Sebastian? Do let me know. Because we're going on the same side, aren't we? Or are we going against each other? I would prefer the same side because I'm shocking at online play. And come on, Wales. I pray and hope, says Adam Pocock. And there as well. And also South Africa will win this game, says Tomelo. And come on, Wales, I pray and hope, says Adam. And also Jeffy, says Berenice. And come on the Bok, says Mornay. But it will be now a line out for South Africa, about 35 metres out next week, says Sebastian. Oh, okay, so that will actually work quite nicely, seeing as there's less international games taking place next week. So that will actually fit in probably pretty well overall, I would say. Bongi Umbanumbi throws it into Ebenezer his 100th match. The two milestone men working together. Kwaka Smith has a good crack at the line, but Josh Navidi able to drag him down. Lukanu Arm recycles the ball quickly. Now Jaden Hendrickson down the wing, tries to throw it back. Was it forward? That's the question. But Lukanu Arm, he's gone in for the try, but they may check this pass to make sure that it wasn't forward. And watch Wales speed it up now. Ben says Jeff, and also I like the score. Bok Yauleka Ding for the try scorer, says JP. So we have seen the try from Tommy Reffel for the Welsh, and then also Bongi Umbanumbi and Andre Pollard as the 2 try scorers for the Springboks. And maybe Lukanyuam might have just added his name to the try list. It's just whether or not this last pass was forward. Yeah, that's forward. Unfortunately, I have a feeling. But I don't think the commentators are going to say so. I think they will say, what a try. They're actually going upstairs for this one to check it. For me, it travels forward. From an unbiased point of view, that is. So I know that more than likely the commentators will say it's a try, but they are just checking this pass to see whether or not it did travel forward. So we see the pass from Jaden Hendrickse down the wing. See, for me, that travels forward. I believe from this angle, and also forward, says TOC, so I think I'm going to have to take this one away for Lukanyuam. It wasn't quite able to get the try for that one, so it's the right call in the end. It did travel forward. Unlucky for South Africa, but it is counted as no try, and you pronounce the South African names perfectly, says Jeff. Do try my absolute best. Oh, wow, some angry women in the crowd for the South Africans. And please be forward, says Adam Pocock. It was indeed. And also, yeah, we should be on the same side, maybe a T20 series to honour the upcoming World Cup. It would be quite a cool one to do. Perhaps maybe we recreate another one that I thought of, which sounds terrible, is I want to do the final over of New Zealand versus England in the ODI Cricket World Cup final, but I know that that will really frustrate a lot of Kiwis, so maybe we don't do that. But instead, some sort of T20 series leading into the World Cup would be pretty cool. I think whether or not it travel forward, it still rattled the Welsh, says Hanger Rat. Yeah, certainly coming out at a frantic speed here by the Springboks, and also Hamish, the camera is forward, says Nathan in there as well. And also no try, says Alton. How long does roast pork last in the fridge? Don't know, but my cat lasted 3 days, if that helps, says Alan King. I'd say pork, as long as it's wrapped well, you'd probably be looking at 3 or 4 days. You don't want to go too much more. And also, I reckon I'd enjoy that more than most of the viewers, says Sebastian. I mean, at the end of the day, it would be pretty awesome to try and do some sort of thing. I don't know how many people can you have on one side for a cricket game on Cricket 22, Sebastian? Can you have 11, or would that not quite work? Your scoreboard still thinks it's a try. Yeah, it's given it to the Springboks, all push and shove. A little bit. We do love a bit of biff by the looks of it for the forwards. And also, hey, says Fluffy, and also no alter forward pass. My skit says it was Bitterness, and also come on, boyos. 11 says hang a rat. And therefore, how many you can have on Cricket 22. On the same side, I love my cricket, says Rena. And we are going to hopefully be covering quite a bit of the Commonwealth Games cricket as well. I'll look it up. Says Sebastian there. Yeah, imagine a pro clubs thing, how you get one bat each, with 11 guys on the same team. That would be incredible. See how it does end up going. Currently 6 points difference between them. And also, hey, I'll watch it at cricket, says Nathan. And Nathan, you have an Xbox One as well, don't you? If I'm not wrong, in 3 days. It's been 5, too late now anyway, says Fluffy. And also, gee, that pitch, it's getting torn to shreds, says Nov Mum. Yeah, it's getting ripped apart. Dewey Lake out there on the field. It looks like the bomb squad has been unleashed. Vincent Koch, Stephen Kitsoff, and Malcolm Marks now out on the park. It's a free kick for Wales for closing the gap, and they will look to tap this one relatively quickly, I would think. Though Kieran Hardy said that they're just going to slow this one down possibly, but Vincent Koch looks a lot like one of the guys from The Incredibles, and he certainly plays like one of them as well. Dan Bigger just trots the boot as high as physically possible, waiting for it. Wally LaRue tries to jump on top of Andre Pollard. It's a knock-on from Sia Khaleesi, and now Wales have been able to take this ball back. And also, come on, Wales, go, guys. There's Rena now, Kieran Hardy flinging the wide pass out to Josh Adams. He's got enough video with him, but instead trying to break through. He's just kept in the field of play. Pollard missed the tackle initially. Does manage to make it in the end. No penalty advantage in favour of Wales for offside. Now, nice run forward from Wainwright. Man, he's probably been unlucky to miss out. No, at the moment, Hamish, I can get hold of an Xbox. Says Nathan, I'm confident. We have got this, boys. Go box, says Kyle. And then also for sure, Alta, says Berenice. Now, Kieran Hardy once again around the side. Will Rowlands, he tried to find the offload. It was risky, but it's going back for the penalty in favour of Wales. And they will more than likely take the extra 3 points. And that will close the gap just a little bit more. Wales have scored the one try of Tommy Reffel. Alongside that, they are continuing to just pour on that pressure for the Springboks. With the Springboks, they are one try away from a possible runaway in this game, I would say. The momentum, and I couldn't find anything. We can do our co-op sessions, I'm sure of that, says Sebastian. So yeah, that would be pretty fun. I'm interested to see how the connection goes between Romania and New Zealand, but surely it would be all right. What's internet like in Romania, Sebastian? Like, is it any good? Because I know that, like, in certain regions, I assume it would be shocking. Same as New Zealand. Like, we have terrible Wi-Fi unless I reset the modem 3 times. That's actually the ritual before a live stream. It sounds like a good game, says Floyd King. Yeah, back and forth. Come on, says Suzanne. And Ozobot, come on. And Wales will win, says Jeff Davies there as well. And it would be massive, and it would keep the Northern Hemisphere sweep alive, and also not the best. Cockies fan, definitely, says DOC. Now Dan Bigger looking to kick this one over. We can hear the boos ringing out in the crowd from the South African public. But Dan Bigger, he won't be minding it too much. He's kicked it straight down the middle, and now the score will be 14 points to Wales and 17 for South Africa. And Romania has one of the best internet connections in the world. We're third worldwide at one point in terms of connection quality. Jeez, that's bloody impressive, isn't it? That's pretty good, to be fair. That surprises me a little bit. But I guess, is it to compensate for, I guess, either the cold weather or like the kind of snowiness that they would have to have very strong connection to be able to get through? That's a stat that I didn't know. What happened to the All Blacks? They went bad. Their match, unfortunately, it did just end up going well and truly wrong for them. But Ireland played brilliantly well. And also there is nothing not cool in South Africa rugby. Even if they win, something needs to be done. And also tight, says Nazir. Now it's kicked in behind brilliantly, taken by Liam Williams. He has slid like he is some sort of Antarctic animal, mainly like a penguin. But now, off to Will Rowlands, and I know, boring team, just big. And the SSDOC, and also Jeff South Africa will win. And also they were beaten, says Patrick there. They were indeed. And it was a dominant performance from Ireland, winning 32 points to 20, charged down by Ebenezer. Dan Bigger on the pocket, does find the offload, and now Nick Tompkins has to kick it as well. Jordan got some wheels or not? Yeah, he's certainly quick. As for John, also Bok the best, says Berenice. Now after Willie LaRue, pass back to Lukanyuam. Just out from the 22, gets back up to his feet. And now Hendrickson, all the front footballers going the way of the box. Peter Steph the toy flick on the inside to Damien Dialende. Once again, another slip. Well, then Booze only makes Dan Bigger a better kicker, says Jeff Davies, and also Willie LaRue go. Hendrickson back across to Ebenezer. And bad loses bad winner's arrogance, says Alan King there. And now Malcolm Marks does very nicely to recycle that one quickly. Honre Pollard pop pass after Vincent Kwok is getting extremely close to the line. They have been told to release him. Now Jaden Hendrickson makes the mistake, and Will Rowlands jumps on it. And now it becomes the advantage in favour of Wales. I agree, awful losers, awful winners. Says TOC, Jordan so fast, but not enough at the end. Says Patrick Foley, and yeah, it's one of those classic examples of one man doesn't make a team. And Will Jordan, yes, he may score tries many times. South Africa get the penalty, which the crowd absolutely love, of course. And also we have got the ES box, says Alta. Also, we have got man oh man, Wales go, and Wales come on. And if South Africa wins, do they move up or stay in third? I believe South Africa would overtake France, if I'm not wrong, in the world rankings, depending on the amount that they win by. Okay, Sia Khaleesi asking for another penalty, even though they already had the penalty, but I think it was because it was closer to straight out in front. And yeah, the box says TOC there. And also thank you to the moderator, says Alta. Yeah, they are very quick. We do get some random links every once in a while. Okay, they're taking the water break while the player is injured. It looks like Damien Willemse is staying down, but he will have to stay out there because Fluff de Klerk is the only other replacement for the backline. And also kick the effing ball, says Fluffy. And also, well, says DOC. And then South Africa will win, says Berenice there. And is your scoreboard right? It is indeed. Nice work from Ebenezer. His 100th match, and he's still running around like he's still the young gun that he was back in the day. And yeah, it is currently sitting at 17 points to 14, but there might be one penalty here going the way of South Africa. They may take the 3. Always a one-score match between Wales and South Africa. It's always a one-score match between Wales and South Africa. I pray it goes our way, or I pray it goes our way. There's Adam there. Just showing Peter to the toy. He's had some decent carries with the ball in hand, although one thing that's let him down a little bit is that discipline in the breakdown. He has given away a couple penalties. I don't believe he's won one yet. South Africa can't move up a spot, even if they do win, as well as they're too far down. But if Wales and South Africa, or if Wales win, South Africa move down to 4th and New Zealand up to 3rd. And up to Clerk, learned from bench and performs a masterclass. And Wales Hendricks are still on there, says hanging around, mainly due to injuries. They can't afford to take anyone else off in that backline yet because they don't have any more cover other than de Klerk. So I think more than likely Jaden Hendrickson may even find himself out on the wing or something along those lines. And Faf needs to come on. So here's Birdie V. It's the first yawn of the night. That's actually pretty impressive. It has taken that long for us to yawn. It's currently 4:30 a.m. Hopefully it is the last of the day. Come on, Bocky, Fast and Furious styles. Says Nathan agree. Faf must come on. Says Alta, but now Andre Pollard once again kicking for the corner. I like this newly found aggression from the Springboks. Rather than going for the 3 points, they're going for the 7s and release the fluff. And Ireland wins the World Cup next year, says Mornay. Visachi there. I see taken at the front, but it's a penalty advantage to South Africa for the early engagement from the Welsh. Now Malcolm Marks at the back, the super sub, as I like to call him. He runs, or we knocked the ball on the ground, but they're going back for the initial penalty. Okay, the South African commentator is now starting to say, how many penalties can you concede in your 22 area before getting yourself a yellow card? The benefit that they've got is that they've had so many different penalties given against them. No more here is the comment. Next time it will be a yellow card, and Hendricks can't handle the pressure. Says hang around, and also no ways Mornay. Says Berenice, and also, yeah, it is so cold there in the North Island, says Rena. Yeah, currently here we are sitting at 3 degrees here in the South Island, so it's a little bit chilly, I guess you could say, overall, but it's just one of those ones that sometimes you get the warm weather, sometimes you get the cold one, and also Ireland is peaking too soon, says JP, and come on the Bok, says Alta, now once again going for the rolling maul. If Wales get this wrong, they could end up with a man in the bin, but for now, Malcolm Marks at the back gives it off to Jaden Hendricks, our first receiver. Damien Willem's a nice step. Dan Big has been able to get him around the bootlaces. Now once again, pop pass up. Peter Steph the Toy has another crack at the line. Jaden Hendricks up to Quacha Smith. Now Hendricks, this is quickly recycled from the box. Great breakdown speed from the now once again looking off to the short side. It is going to be Andre Pollard. Sounds the dummy almost went in for his second of the match. That's nicely done by Wales. I think that's over the ball. Is it the penalty? No. South Africa still got it. Stephen Kitsoff. And that man has a URC title in his cupboard. And also thanks Alton, unlike Cape Town, the North Island is plenty of water. It's close and they've gone in for the try once again. And it is a brilliant run. I believe it's the captain, Sia Khaleesi, underneath the pile. And he has been able to get himself the try. And that might be the last play that he has of the day, perhaps, depending on how it goes. But it was brilliantly done. Sia Khaleesi does end up scoring the try for the Springboks. And that is in the 52nd minute that he is able to get it. There we go, Sia Khaleesi. 52nd minute, the captain steps up and does get himself the try for the Springboks. They're just showing the attacking king of the South. You lost to a team who lost to Italy. Here's Sebastian there, and also try time. Well done, captain. With we in it to win it. And yes, they should, says Stefan. And also Faf needs to come on now, says hang around and try time, says Scrumptious. It's a brilliant one from Sia Khaleesi to be able to get over. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, we are going to be back for the Rugby Championship. Also, we've got plenty more action coming in the near future with international rugby, Super Rugby, the URC, Curry Cup, all of the competitions around the world we will be covering. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Easy Kick says Mr. TP. Relatively simple for Andre Pollard, but it's still probably not a complete given, although it should be. It's about a 99% chance that this one does end up going over. And no, Ravi says Berenice. It's gone over nicely. And that is now going to make the score sitting 24 points to 14. So a 10-point margin now between these two sides. And well done, Sia. Says Patrick, and also Wales win, says Ravi, and also Bok. Let's go, boys, today. They are playing real rugby, says Sifwine. Hopefully I said that correctly, but I think I've got that slightly wrong. So I do apologise. And Springboks, the world champion, says Oscar. And 24-14. And when does the Rugby Championship start? 20 days' time. So when we do get to see New Zealand versus South Africa as the opening fixture. That is incredible. That will be the first game that we see of the URC competition. So, yeah, thoroughly looking forward to that, and we will be covering that one on the channel as well. Now it's kicked off high. Quacha Smith takes it nicely for the Springboks inside of their own 22 here. Wales need to win themselves a penalty. And we're not playing like World Champ, says Mornay. And then also kicking Polly. Let's go, Bok, and come on, Wales, says Gracie. And then Razor or Joe Smith for the AB's coach. I'd say either of them are probably a decent option at this point. No worries. We still need you to continue commentating. Don't bite your tongue, says Sifwene. And there's Sifwene. I can't say it. I know that Matanzima's first name is the same, though, isn't it? I can say Matanzima, not too bad. But I don't think I'd be able to do too well with the last name either. I was going to say, can I call you Simp? But that's a bit rough. Symphony. And hello, says Thora. Welcome and hope you are doing well, Wales. Just winding up. Don't panic, says Jeff. It's now going to be not straight from Wales. So unfortunate because that rolling ball was looking dangerous. Simpwe. Pronounced like that. And it's Simpwe. Hopefully that's correct. Simpwe. And Simpwe. So hopefully that's not too far off. And also I feel bad for Sam Kane. But he just hasn't been the same since the injury, says Sebastian. Yeah, he's been struggling quite a bit for the All Blacks, unfortunately. And it is a tricky one because at what point do you say this isn't working? We need to give someone else a bit of a crack there. And also Fuff the Clerk now as well, says Oscar. And also we're going to go Bok, says Sifa. And there, and Simpwe. Maybe a little bit. And also, do y'all see that multi-choice stuff as well, says Tanya. And there, but now it is going to be Jaden Hendricks about to feed this ball in. Still 24 minutes left. And here we go, Bok. Here we go, says Charles. It's going to be now a little bit early from both sides in there. Wait for it, Benny. You got to be tears. Going to be in tears soon. And it's a silent H. Simpwe. We'll go with that. Hopefully it's not too far off overall. And probably at 7 is a decent enough option. And there as well. And Simpwe, as I said, they blocked everything for the multi-choice. And also we got that Viva Box, Viva, says Tokelo. And I should mention we are going to be doing the live stream later on tonight. That will be the matchup taking place between Scotland and Argentina in only a couple hours. And look at that score, Bok. You are the champ, says go and go the Bulls. And there, no worries about the pronunciation, says Mike Wood. Now passed across from Hendricksa. Damien Willemse goes for the cross kick. Makazole Mapimpi tries to get it. It is going to be knocked backwards twice by Lewis Rees-Salmon, and it becomes a penalty now in favour of Wales. Going back for our apologies, ladies and gentlemen, the man is struggling, says Sebastian. I like how all the stuff Ian Foster and Kane get, you don't dip into the negativity, you remain neutral, kind of glass half full, guys, says Nazi Williams. And there, and she is blushing now. Here's Mr. TP, and pronounced as the P as a normal P. So it's Simpwe. And you must get yourself a Bok t-shirt, says Christopher. I am actually very keen to get a Springbok kit at some point. I don't actually know where you'd find them in New Zealand, but it would be pretty awesome if I did end up getting a Springbok one, although I don't have an All Blacks kit, so that might get me deported. So if anyone's got a couch in South Africa I can like live on, do the streams from, let me know, and I'll get myself a Bok kit. And also Simfware, says Dunny, and also the Pumas, says Westside. And yeah, well done for trying the name, keep it up. Says, oh, that's a tough one too. Glenelg, hopefully I've said that correctly. And my friend Peanuts, good job, says Anthony. And also P, like taking a pee in the toilet, says Brent. And Simpwe. And also, you get an A for effort, mate, says Simpwe. And there, yeah, that's the thing. With the South African names, I always try my absolute best to get them right. Even when they're not rolling off the tongue, we keep on practicing them and hope for the best. So it's Simpwe, or sorry, Simpiwi. It's going to be another knock on there. And now Wales are going to have it back. And also Simpiwi. And that sounded all right, actually, says Sebastian. And then also got it, says Simpwe. And also got on you for driving, mate, says Andrew de Klerk, and ask Hanger to get you a Bok t-shirt. And Simpwe. And that was perfect. So it's Simpwe. Oh, sorry, it's changed it. Simpwe. There we go. We're closer than we were. Kapai, says Nutty Williams. And then, yes, says Brent. It goes South Africa, and the Pumas throw in from Wales now hanging on to it. just outside of their own 22 and still 10 points difference with 20 on the clock. And no, an AAA if it says Alan there and goes South Africa and the Pumas. Of course, they are going to be playing a little bit later on. It's a nice run forward from Thomas Williams. I believe he came on at approximately halftime. The injury of Kieran Hardy. Oh, Adam Beard almost knocked that ball on the ground. You've got to be careful doing that one. Oh, and Watkin around the side. Sia Khaleesi saw the opportunity to steal it, but they are going to be going back for the initial one. And also we have similar issues with Italian names, and this is fun. The South African name says Tony Leroux, and also you get it, then change. Says Gareth, and now you got it. Says Kuz there. And also Simpiwe. For some reason, I want to say Pe, but I don't know why. I'm trying to think of any name that does have Pe in it for a South African name, and I can't. And Simpiwe says, Jeff there, for the Boks win, we don't care about the pronouncement, says Dal there. And you must just think it is simple to P we want. And I'll say, oh, you got it right now, so it's hang a rat. I keep on saying W's on everything now. Some reasons says Sebastian, but it looks like Franco Mostert, he's made his way out onto the field. South Africa 11 from 11 at the moment for themselves at line out time. And Vincent Koch, Eben Etzebeth making his way off the field. 100 caps for that man. He's been brilliant. And now we'll be looking forward to his next challenge up against the All Blacks. Alan Wynne-Jones fires it back. Damn bigger first receiver off now. Skip pass. Brilliant hands from Liam Williams. Josh Adams steps. Is able to dodge a couple of the tackles, but now South Africa are swarming like they're a herd of bees. Bees are herd. They're kind of a swarm, in fact. Now Dan Bigger sells the dummy. He's lined up early. Now Luteracha does lose his footing, but it's going to be in through the side, so a mistake made by Wainwright. And there we go. Says Mike. And also I'm changing my handle to hang a wat. Says hanger right there. And also I reacted like a great try had been scored when you pronounced it correctly, says Joshua Norris. And also, you really make a person laugh, says Arena there. Yeah, in through the side. Unfortunately, Sam Wainwright got it wrong, and that is one that they couldn't afford to give away. I heard of bees. You need sleep, mate, says Hanger at there. Don't care. You bring in the spirit as if we are at the stadium, says Dale there. And yeah, we are going to be back for the Rugby Championship. Also, the match later on tonight. We are covering between Scotland and Argentina. That will be kicking off in 2.5 hours' time. And we are going to be there as far for not quite, but I believe he won't be too far off making his way onto the field. He's sitting currently next to his big buddy, Etzebeth. He's had a good 100th test match. An awesome game, says Birdie V. And Joshua Samir, like he got a try and converted, says Simpue. And there as well. Maybe. Might have been Simpue. No, I changed it again. I need to stop saying it twice because the first time I get it and then I change it. But the second one, a great game, I agree. Says Alter there. And also, if at first you don't succeed, the whole joined in to help you. Great collective effort. And there says Sebastian, exactly right. Like, that's the thing. Throughout the Curry Cup live streams that I've done in the past, you guys who tune in each and every week and help me with those pronunciations is the reason I can say so many South African names now. Because at the start, I would have said it as, I don't even know what I would have said it as. What's the Kiwiest way that you could say it? Probably Sefewi or something like that. And also, you hit him, mate, says Garth. And they had a great game, I agree. Thrown in by Malcolm Marks. Almost stolen, but great hands from Ludiacha. Was able to just hang on to it now. Damien Valenza finds the offload to Lukaniwam. Dan Bigger makes a big shot, but he's been hit hard by Franco Mostert as it drags down to the turf. 22 metres out for the Springboks now, and they are looking for one last possible attack here before we see Jaden Hendrickson make his way off the park. That is if they sub him. Quagga Smith bouncing off the tackle of George North. Now Hendrickson goes cross to the right-hand side. Currently 10 points difference. If there is one more try, there might end up being no coming back for Wales. But if they can keep him out for a bit longer, it could be dangerous. Malcolm Marks runs straight at Wynne-Jones. He's dragged him now. Now Hendrickson gives it off to Vincent Koch. Plays very well for Saracens throughout the Gallagher Premiership. Wouldn't mind a try coming up. Andre Pollard went for the kick. It's gone in behind. It's going to be sitting up nicely for Tommy Reffel, the one try scorer for Wales throughout this contest. And also why Wales Fuff not only he's small and annoying, just what the Boks need. And also still time, says Stanley. And there, yeah, now that Wales have got the ball back, they certainly have more of a chance than if there was another try for South Africa. And also still time, says Stanley. And also it is a wonder that Etzebeth didn't cause a big fight yet, says Dale. I mean, that's the thing. He's become a lot more disciplined. And do you tick Wales will get a neuter try? Or do you think Wales will get another try? I think that is possibly from Connor. And I think they've got a decent crack, but South Africa, I think, have still got one more in the bank as well. And Aleka says Wahan, and also come on, block, come on, says Alta. But anyone who is new to the channel, I should mention, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated. You guys have been a brilliant take from Damien Valimza under the high ball. They're trying to force it towards the touchline, and George North has done just that. And it is going to be now a line out in favour of Wales. And link, please, says Mush. Yes, I believe there will be, hopefully on the Sansa, I think it will be the Springboks YouTube channel. They should have the highlights coming up relatively soon. And all the guys who've been showing the game have just gotten a multi-choice copyright strikes. There's Gareth there. That is unfortunate. But at the end of the day, that's kind of the risk that you take, isn't it? Sometimes you get away with it. Like, I have never shown a second of match footage, and I've still ended up with 2 copyright strikes on our channel. So that tells you how strict it can be. And also, Box must beat Wales, or must beat this Wales, and Super Rugby YT channel post the highlights as well. All perfect. So yeah, Super Rugby YouTube channel, anyone who does want to check it out. And link, please, says Marshias. Do you want to give him a link, Sebastian? The actual Super Rugby YouTube channel link, though, not one of like Bowden Barrett scoring a last-minute try. And also, Eric Wales says 14 already. And what time is the next match, says Connor? So it is going to be at 7:10 a.m. New Zealand time. So we have still got another 2 hours or so. The current Wales are already on 14. Says Lowett. Yeah, as well. But currently, Faf de Klerk still waiting, and Jex Faf de Klerk flares. Says Nathan. But Bongi Ombanami for his 50th test match, he has also gone very well. And saw that too, Gareth. Says Garth. And also hello. Says the boy Galaxy. And there, but Bongi Ombanami scored himself a try, Super Rugby YouTube channel. And there, so yeah, be sure to check that out on that live stream. They got the strike, or got a striker's back, says JP. So they've done well. I guess they've just made another account, have they? And we'll stay here. Thank you, though. Says it was Simpiwe. Well, now that I can say the name right, I guess you could say that it's a lot better overall. And also, how much time is left? We have still got 10 minutes left in this contest, even though my scoreboard says that it's a lot more. There we go. Has just updated, or in fact, 15 minutes left, sorry. I just listened to Hamish and what's the highlights afterwards, says RJJ. Oh, free kick now to Wales for closing the gap once again against South Africa. That's about the 3rd time that we've seen it. And a waff. That in Ireland time. So I would say 2 hours, 20 minutes time. Whatever time it is in 2 hours, 20 in Ireland. I think it might be a 9:10 p.m. kickoff for you guys for Argentina versus Scotland, but we will be covering it. Like I mentioned, anytime there's an international fixture and it's being shown in New Zealand, we are here on the channel. We have a chat about the games. So yeah, if you guys are new and you are enjoying, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Safis will teach or need to start teaching you some Zulu. Says Hangarat. That's the thing. I've actually been looking at the options. Wow, that's a big shot from Makazole Mapimpi on Dan Bigger. But I've been looking at different language options that I could learn, and I'm trying to work out what the one that would be the most beneficial for me is. And I feel like Afrikaans is kind of right up there because of how much South African rugby we cover. An 8 p.m. kickoff time in Ireland, says Sebastian, for that next game. And Hamish, when's the NPC season kickoff? Are you also are you showing any games live? Says Nathan. So for the Bunnings NBC, we will be covering it. It's in 20 days' time or so. And then, unfortunately, we won't be able to show the match footage once again, but we will be doing the commentary for it. And, you have a lot of energy, says Boy Galaxy. See, that's the thing. Some people don't believe that I have been streaming for on and off 16 hours or so. In fact, it's almost been longer than that. So it's crazy to think that I've done so many live streams and still feel so awake at 5 a.m. And is it an 8 o'clock kickoff? It sounds that way. And also 20 hours or 8 o'clock in Irish time, says Patrick. And 1900, to be sure, says Alan King. And also, an Afrikaans means nice guy. It does not, Floyd. I know just enough Afrikaan to know that that is not nice guy. And time left, says Heinrich. The moment, 15 minutes on the clock. In fact, now down to 14 minutes. And the rolling maul once again there for South Africa. Looking to try and use that big physical back. It's kicked downfield from Faf de Klerk, who has now made his way out onto the field. Lewis Rees-Zammit doesn't take it cleanly. It's a knock-on advantage in favour of the Springboks. Now de Klerk goes back across the cock. Another kick in behind from Honre Pollard, looking for a bit of space. That will be advantage over, and Liam Williams takes it. Slipped over there, Damien Dialende. It's incredibly hard to change direction on this field as you just end up slipping and sliding all over the place. Waikato and Taranaki will be defending champs. We're going to root for Tasman and Hawke's Bay. I quite like them. See Sebastian there, another kick in behind from the Springboks. Liam Williams slings the wide pass off to Dan Bigger. Now George North in the midfield. Quick hands off to Lewis Rees-Zammit, trying to back himself round. He's broken 2 tackles, still going Lewis Rees-Zammit, but Damien de Allende ties up the legs. And now it's another advantage and go to bed or not to go to bed. That is the question, says Novum. It is indeed. I can guarantee you that Springbok game, that Pumas versus Scotland game, it should be an entertaining one, but it is that question of whether or not it is going to be too late. For some of you guys in New Zealand, I can completely understand if it is. And don't know, Mum, one more game, you can do it, says Sebastian there. And yes, you'll get to hear my tongue rolls for Argentinian names, such as Santiago Carreras. And who else have they got? That's it. I can't think of any other R's. They've got a few players who start with R. Marcos Crema. And there's a little bit of R going on, but Damien de Allende just got caught on the wrong side of that breakdowns. And also Welsh players ain't that childish, says Dennis Williams there. Now, going to be kicked downfield from Dan Bigger. That's another language that I would like to one day be able to speak a couple sentences of, and that's Welsh. But that would be very tough to learn. I think Welsh is one of those hardest languages to learn, isn't it? If I'm not wrong, because of all of the different pronunciations. And also, what could I try to do for Wales? It would put them within these 7 points. You're doing an excellent job, bud. Keep it up, says Andrew de Klerk. Thank you very much, mate. And we are going to be covering the Rugby Championship, including that first match, New Zealand versus South Africa. Also, the game starting in an hour or 2 hours, 20 time. That will be the match between Argentina and Scotland to see whether or not it will be 2-2. Or maybe it could be a clean sweep for the Northern Hemisphere, depending on how Wales go for the last 12 minutes of this one. And Welsh can only be learned while you're pissed. And Welsh just forget about vowels. Here's Gareth and Crevi. Yeah, and Wales need to try, says Floyd Kingy in Ireland. Next World Cup winners. Here's Mornay there. But penalties conceded 13 against Wales, so it's just been a few too many throughout this contest. That's going to be a great rolling maul, though. 22 metres out. Make that 15. And now side entry against South Africa once again. Going to get themselves penalised there. But Dewey Lake breaks off. Good low tackle made by Sia Kolisi. Now going short side. Kicked him behind by Thomas Williams. It hasn't worked out and it's gone dead. And they will be going back. Who went off injured today for South Africa. So they did end up losing Jasper Wiese early on for an injury. And then also alongside that, I believe, I want to say that Damien Valimza had a little bit of an injury, but he is still out there. Other than that, I think that it is the only injuries that South Africa have sustained. And also come on South African and also Wales try coming up. Next, don't panic, says Jeff. Yeah, they've kicked it for the corner. And Augustine Crevi, Huria Montoya, and also Sanchez Boffelli, says Dole. And also see, did you see that video, that weather reporter pronouncing that Welsh city's name? Good luck learning that. It's easier to say Sempiwi. And then also Welsh was invented by a dad losing at Scrabble. You have words starting with 3 L's. Now it's an advantage knock on. Sia Kolisi's just tried to run over the top of Owen Watkin, who looked confused for a second. So if he wasn't quite sure where he was, he's at Cape Town for this matchup, of course. But Adam Baird makes the tackle on Vincent Koch and the fighter for Argentina, Guido Pitti. So here's down there and Cheslin Colby. Oh, Cheslin Colby, sorry, he got injured earlier on. And when you get a point and you say, Uchida, which means good health, says the Flying Spider Revival. I really hope that does mean that, and I haven't just said something offensive. And did Cheslin go off injured? He did, sorry. I forgot about his broken jaw or his jaw injury and knock my what light before yonder window breaks. Christ, is she still up, lad, says Alan King. Yeah, but it was a big shot. Sia Kolisi running straight over the top of Owen Watkin, sorry. This one not what he would have been after. But like I mentioned, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It's in Peewee. And there, I'm perfect, mate, says Alan. See, I feel like it's that slow, I guess, learning process that I slowly get through. And also, we love you in South Africa, says Alta. And it is a place that I would love to go one day for a braai. I've been invited to many. Backline here for Wales now. Josh Adams going to back himself down the wing. He's been hit hard and the tackle by Makazole Mapimpi straight over the ball for the Springboks. That's going to be the clean turnover for Kwaka Smith. Brilliantly done. The clean out just wasn't quite there quick enough for Wales. And also big on a foul spot. And also we have got there what is going on now. Says hang around. It's going to be kicked high from Fluff de Klerk. Does go for the touchline. It does manage to clear. And now with 9 minutes left. Still a chance for Wales, but they need a try before 75 minutes, I would say, to have a decent crack of being able to win it. But there was a slip once again. Damien de Allende, I think he's worn sneakers to this game because he seems to be slipping and sliding all over the place. Ireland, France are peaking. The World Cup is happening next year. Relax. Here's JP there. Straight over the ball. Whaka Smith gets his hands on it. Doesn't allow that one to get stolen from him. Ball goes in once again. Nicely taken from Alan Wynne-Jones at the front. It's been sacked down. Now they're going after it. Faf de Klerk making himself a nuisance there at the rolling ball. Now going short side. Thomas Williams sees a gap. Running hard. Flicks it on the inside. That's put down. Unfortunately, looking up to see where he was going to be running before he ran there. And that was the mistake. And Fluffy, I got it. Regards. And then Goy. And I was like, no, I think the pitch is terrible, says Hangarat. Yeah, it's been a bit of a rough one. It's been getting ripped up all over the place. Okay, knock on green scrum, so that will be good for South Africa. They'll use up a little bit more time on the clock currently. 10 points difference between these two sides. I believe my prediction was 5 to 10 points in favour of the Springboks. More specifically, I said they would win it by 8. I love the way you say Whaka's name. Do I say it wrong, or do I say too much in there maybe? Is it Whaka Smith? Oh, I got that slightly off. Do let me know. And also, what a game. Let's go, Bok. Says Bernie V there. South Africa just outside of the 22, so they won't be able to kick this one into touch on the full, but I would assume that it will end up going towards the touchline more than likely, or maybe just straight down the middle of the park. And the era 7 for Wales, 6 for South Africa. It's gone down on the front row. Springboks won't mind that. And just perfect, says RJJ, and also oof, says Fluffy there as well. But the Springbok coaches, they are looking difficult, and also they're very difficult to teach Hamish the G sound, says Hangarat there. And also perfect, mate, says Alan. Because I guess it's like, what's another one? The kind of click noise for like Unkelboka and whatnot. I can't quite get that yet. I haven't quite got the tongue doing what it needs to. But one day, hopefully, I can do all right and get it. And also, Kwaka is Rek. And then says it was Nazir. And also, come on, Wales says kind of Kwaka the zebra. Better to pronounce. And this is though. Now, Faf de Klerk about to put it in, and also you said it correctly. Says Marilyn there. Springboks have been told to use this one. It doesn't look like Wales are budging. It's gone down on the front rows, but it's too late. The ball has already come out. Damien Falimza runs hard at Dan Bigger. They have been targeting him for his defence in this contest, but he's actually been doing not too badly. And Scorsa, I think that has the click, as well, says Sebastian. And also you have to blow out of your throat. So use your uvula vibrates, or so that your uvula vibrates. See, I have no idea how I get my uvula to do anything, really. That's not quite it, is it? And also love Faf de Klerk, a little Jack Russell, and also, I know there's not enough G's. Give it up. And there. And also, Marlon, not Marilyn. Sorry about that. Now it's another penalty in favour of South Africa. 6 minutes left. They have been told that they have to try and use this one. Keep it going. Also have a habit of leaving it to the last minute. See, there's a fluffier there. But it does seem like South Africa will get the first possible win for the Southern Hemisphere in a series so far. All Blacks let us down. Wallabies, they weren't able to get themselves a win. And now it does seem like South Africa might be able to do nicely. And now I'm addicted to chocolates, I promise, says Alta. And also, that was pretty close to Welsh, Hamish, says Sebastian. And also, Mornay, they are contenders for sure, says Stefan. Now, Malcolm Marks, as long as he gets this line out relatively straight. I should actually mention, ladies and gentlemen, I will have a guest for a post-match review of this match. So we will be sticking around for probably an extra 10 to 20 minutes after this contest is finished to talk all about what has happened in it. And it will be someone who is a South African supporter, and they must be a 24-hour store open. And Klerksdorp says hang around. And also, so it's blow some air, then say, it was not quite Quacha Smith. I don't think you have to do the thing with the neck, I wouldn't think. And also, we have got there, how do you remove the block in the middle? Says Slimax there. Are we talking about this one? Because sadly, we can't actually show any match footage or anything. And also, tell me the truth, Amish. Amish, I'm the guest. Says Fantastic Charisma. Maybe one day and get ready for the review. And Huacha, you are correct now. You are South African bias, says Michael. Nice run forward. And speaking of South Africa, they look like they're about to get themselves maybe another try. But the Klerk offloads it backwards to Lukaniwam. Now, under a huge amount of pressure, back to the 22. He's flicked it out the back. It's picked up there, but they are going back for the penalty. And not enough arrows in the fridge. And also too much space between the chocolate, says Hangarat. And also Kim Ru to win. And also my favorite player for commentators was Jerry Jumashis. Hermasius, maybe. Is it Hermasius? And how many minutes left? Says it currently. We have got 3 minutes left in this contest. And yep, Jeff Davies, and also love the thing you do with your neck adds a little humour, says Luet. And then also I'm aware they are yummy soft the arrow, and also 4 minutes, says Stefan. For that one, it looks like 2 minutes left. So here's Marlon there in the chat. So yeah, relatively close to the end of this game. It does seem like South Africa will be able to close it out with a victory for the Southern Hemisphere. And there is a South Africa store in Dallas. I go there, get rusks. Got a granny out. Oh, I got a granny on the box, pronounced a Hermistache, is it? Or maybe not. And number 3, says Stefan, yeah, South Africa going to be hanging on to that number 3 spot if it does stay the way that it should. And that is only with a little bit. Anyway, Hamish, thoroughly enjoyed the coverage of the past 3 games. Thanks a lot, mate. And best wishes, says Alan King. And I should mention we have still got one more game later on tonight. South Africa just getting another conversion. That'll take them up to 27 points to 14. Currently 13 points difference between these two sides with only the 2.5 minutes left. But yeah, we are covering Argentina when they are going to be taking on Scotland in 2 hours' time. We will be back live on the channel for that one. And thanks so much, says Marlon. And drink beer is easy and better, says Andrew de Klerk. And kicking Polly, says Birdie V. Now, nice carry from Lud Diacha. 40 metres out from the line. It looks like Faf de Klerk about to put up the box kick once again. And this kicking is smart. And also keep pronouncing the last names. Says it was Hangerat and also go Bok. And well done, Hamish. Excellent, says Patrick Foley. And cheers, Hamish, and on your box. Well done and awesome commentating. Says Marlon there. Still 2 minutes left. A little bit of push and shove in the breakdown. Now off to the short side. Will Rowlands as his legs taken out from underneath him. Quacha Smith does nicely there to try and stop it. It looks like Faf de Klerk still having a bit of a push and a shove with Lewis Rees-Zammit. Realises he has to make that tackle and brilliantly done. Wrapping around the midsection. It's close to the turnover. And Malcolm Marks wins another one for the Boks. And push and shove. There might even be some fist thrown very soon here. They've got the bells ringing at Cape Town Stadium. I love your commentary. Send me a PM, please. Says Alan there, and thanks so much, brother. Says Sipiwi. And also congratulations to the Boks, says Jeff. And well done, Hamish. Excellent job, says Andrew de Klerk. And well done, Wales, says Lerat there. I mean, at the end of the day, they did manage to still get themselves their first ever win on South Africa soil, which was absolutely huge. I cry and laughing at your pronunciations. Irish, thank you, says Mike. And here we go again, Bok. Or maybe not, says Hanging Rat. And there, and yes, I'm gutted. Says Jeff, and no clean sweeps by the Northern Hemisphere. And how strong is the Kiwi support for the Boks versus Wales game in New Zealand, says Herman. I know that a lot of Kiwis are probably sleeping currently, which is a shame because I've missed a good game of rugby for the Springboks. But a lot of people will be getting up tomorrow to then watch this game, I guess, on the replay or maybe in the highlights on Sanzar's YouTube channel. Oh, well, that's the summer rugby finished then, says Lee. Not quite. One last game. Scotland, they are going to be taking on Argentina in only 2 hours' time. We will be live for that one. We will get to talk about all of the matches that we have witnessed up to this point. And also, I'd like to hear you say Sipui's surname. Oh, no. Where is it? I know it wasn't easy. That's probably why I did decide to stick. Oh, no. No, how is that? Hlofe? It sounds like I'm kind of stuck in a box. Hlohe. And I'm trying to get out of that box. And also, thank you very much for the stream, Hamish. Pollard strikes, and Pollard gets it. And that is going to be over for him. And that now is the end of the game. 30 points to 14. The Boks strike back, and they do win themselves the South African versus Wales tour. And support the Wales, you mean? Says it was there from Lee. And also, thank you guys, says Jeff. And also, Hamish, thank you. Great stream, says Alta. And also, thank you for the commentary. And the last, have a good one, says Mike. And then don't even try. You have a stroke. Says Sipini or Sipiwi. And then also, thank you guys, says Jeff. And let's go, South Africa. And now Whoop Whoop, says Gareth. Yeah, brilliant win for the South Africans in this contest. And like I mentioned, one last game going to be taking place a little bit later on tonight. Or in fact, 2 hours' time. And that is going to be the match between Argentina and Scotland. I thoroughly recommend that if you guys do enjoy a close game of rugby, I think that one will be pretty close. And Huaka, you pronounced that 100% perfectly. And thanks for the out, says Hangarat. And also, yeah, all the way from Dubai, listening to you, great commentary. Says Simone, thank you very much. And Yao Lekading. So much for a 1-point game to whoever said that earlier, says JP. And also, you have so much fun. You have a Zoom webinar and we can sort out all of the names, says Mr. TP. Maybe it's an idea in the future. See how it goes. And thank you for keeping us updated. Much appreciated, says Louette. And no worries at all. Cheers for commentary game, says the Big V8 show. And then also, anyone crying, says Stanley. And well done, everyone. Solid night for South Africa, says Nathan. And be sure to stick around for the post-match review. And yeah, so yeah, we are going to have a guest in a very short moment who does enjoy watching South African rugby. And what we will quickly do is we will go like this, and we will go South Africa 30 and 14 for Wales in this contest. We will add that down the bottom so that we can have our guest sitting next to us. And also, bye, good night, says Rugby Score. And thank you very much. I'm sitting in Salzburg, Austria, says Pierre there. And Bok need to play all games in Cape Town, says Cassie. And Kiwi lads, I love you from World Cup times, says Deep Sport. And yeah, we have got plenty more coming up. The Commonwealth Games, we are going to be covering the cricket and the sevens. Proud South African, says Rage quickly. And thanks, Bal Wilson, says Garth. And brilliant, Hamish, love the Kiwi accent, says Mike there. Yeah, sometimes it does come out more than others for those South African names, but I'm hoping eventually I'm just going to be rattling off some Afrikaans. No worries at all. And at least one Southern Hemisphere team has won, says Kwasi. That is true. And that comment is savage, as I says Deep Sport. And also, yep, says Marissa. And yeah, and also as the game over, says Joshua, it certainly is. The score at the end of it, 30 points to 14 in favour of South Africa. So getting themselves a comeback win after that last test match. And now they will be very, very happy with how that one has ended up. But what we will quickly do is we will go like this. I guess that's just a little bit away. And also, well done, Bocky, says Shelly. And also, I'm so glad I stumbled on this channel. I enjoy your commentary, says Kirshin. And yeah, it's hugely appreciated you guys all being here. I always find that having you guys in the chat just makes it so much more fun for these live streams. So I highly recommend, if you did enjoy, be sure to stick around. It was great tuning into the Rugby Guru for Safa Games, says Simi Souza. And also hanging out, cares, we use studies. And there's these Deep Sport. And also take care, everyone. Enjoy your day, night, all mornings. And there. And also Comedy Bok, says Louette. And also thanks. And I'm so glad. Oh no, I read that one. And you go Bok. That's more like it, says Linda Labaskhachni. Now we are just in waiting, I guess you should say, for the guest. He is just a little bit away. I think he's probably like a couple minutes. Who supports Wales? Go suck some. Says Marissa. Okay. Bit of that friendly rivalry, I guess you could say. And I'll say, yes, Box, says Mo, and well done, boys. Great commentary, champ, says Kyle there. And there's well, way to go, Shirley. Or way to go, Springboks, I should say. And yes, Box, says Mo. And I'm so glad, hey, says Annalie. And yeah, brilliantly done. Check out Keith Murdoch. I will have to have a look at that and see you in 2 hours, Kiwi lads, for the Scotland versus Pumas game. And also, we're all the pundit haters who hated us, Green Blood, said Deep South. And well done, enjoy the commentary, says Rob. And also Marissa doesn't mess around, does she? No, she's straight to the point. Right, I do see a rugby itch. So because of it, we are going to go like this. We are going to click this button, and then we're going to go like this. And all of a sudden, hello, rugby itch. How you going, mate? Can you hear?
Yep. Yeah, doing well.
It's good.
How have you been?
Well, you would have loved that game, wouldn't you? South Africa getting the win.
Yeah, I was very happy with the performance overall. I mean, it was kind of. I don't want to say it was kind of damaged, but it's kind of what I expected from South Africa. But yeah, it's still in my head thinking about the previous performances of the All Blacks and obviously the Wallabies. So yeah, at least it's 2-1 now, 2-1 on the leaderboard. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, and now Argentina, Scotland, the last game. Question, where are you commentating from or talking to us from at the moment? Are you in the US currently? Delay.
Just say it again? Yeah, it's a bit of delay there.
You're in the US.
For some reason, you're frozen at the moment from my side.
I think the connection's a bit shaky.
Yes. Yeah, I'm in the US at the moment. Currently... Yeah. No, I'm currently in Charlotte, in the U.S. So for all the games I was watching, it was very late. Very early actually. In fact, I woke up at 3 a.m. to watch the first game. So yeah, it was a long morning really for me, similar to what you do obviously with your live streams. But yeah.
I see the man of the match.
What did you think about
the
just first of all, this game? What do you think about the snapper?
It was an impressive one, I thought, overall. And Ebenezer bringing up the 100th cap, of course, was very impressive for him. He's had a huge amount of experience for the Box. Yes, man, 2-1. Box saving us from a whitewash. Says yesterday there. And how was Zimbabwe? It's a question from Gareth. And then can I get a shout out? Shout out to you, Marissa, in the chat.
Gosh.
Is Zimbabwe good?
Yes, yeah. Zimbabwe was good. It was really good. I was only there for 3 weeks, but yeah, it was good.
That's good. It's good to hear. Oh, well, we might have. Yeah, now he's frozen. Technical difficulties. Gotta love them, but I guess we will probably end up cutting it a little bit shorter than anticipated, just because the connection is a little bit shaky. But I'm glad you enjoyed the game. And yeah, hope to see you a little bit later on Rugby Itch at some stage very soon as well.
Of course.
I'll see you later. The delay was quite hectic, wasn't it? Overall, quite the delay for that one. And also Argies to take the next game against Scotland and win their series. And then also video chat is more delayed than GTA 6. Yeah, there was quite the delay. And also the only Southern Hemisphere team that made it so far, or the only Southern Hemisphere team, exactly right, and an internet tough guy says it here, there, and there as well. But nonetheless, Ebenezer getting man of the match. Like I mentioned, he gets 10,000 Rand, which I'm not too sure how much that works out to in New Zealand dollars. How much is 10,000 Rand in New Zealand dollars? $950 you get for that. Nice one, Etzebeth. And he deserves it as well. He's had plenty of matches in the past that also I hope that South Africa didn't end up on holiday while leading. Says Simi Sosa. And also Hamish, don't leave without a guitar jam, says Nazi Williams. I thought you would never ask. Okay, sorry for the connection, but happy Springboks won. Says Rugby Itch there. What song could we bring out? I actually want to learn the South African national anthem before we get to the Rugby World Cup, because I feel like that would be quite a cool little thing to be able to do. What's a song that we know? Whoops. There you go. That's a little song for South Africa, winning it for the Southern Hemisphere. There we go. That's about all I know. Or is it anyone's birthday? Because if it is, it's a party in here. Oops. That string's still very out of tune. I'll get the whammy bar in. There you go. And also my favourite song, says Nazia. And also, you're such a level-headed commentator. Do you ever go crazy over rugby games, says T-Mac. The thing is, I think I've kind of taught myself that no matter how crazy a game gets, like, I'm always able to still remain impartial for it, which I think is something that a lot of people are drawn to, because we don't end up just supporting the one side. We kind of go for both of them. But overall, I mean, there were a couple games that I've had my hands on my heads going, how does this just happened? And also, you keep looking like your own or I won't van with free candy running on the side. That was not it. Oops. That's kind of fun. There you go, eh? That was actually not terrible. What's in your water, mate? I don't know. Must be pretty good, though, isn't it? And also, that was a good whammy. And also, we have got there, man's got skills, says Nazi Williams. And also, we have got there, oh, you've been drinking, Kiwi lads? No, I'm actually completely sober, believe it or not. But we've still got one last live stream. I think I'm up to that stage how I get drunk off tiredness, and I think I'm almost there. So the next live stream, there's going to be some random things said. So be sure to tune in for that one. It is going to be the matchup between Argentina and also Scotland, which is going to be a pretty awesome one. And also, hey, says Sebastian in there as well with the clapping. Can I get a shout out? Shout out to you, Marissa, again. Hope you are doing well. And are you sure, says Barry? Yeah, no, I'm all good. Overall, I would say for beverage-wise, I'm probably going to have some water in between. This great result, says Israel. Exactly right. 3 tries for the South Africans. Sia Khaleesi scoring the last one. Then also alongside that, it was the first try of the match for Hondre Pollard, which probably wasn't the pick for a lot of people to be able to score first. And then Bongi Mbonambi in his 50th test match was also able to get himself the try. Then the 1 try scorer for Wales was Tommy Reffel. They would have loved to see a couple more score for the Welsh throughout this fixture, but it just didn't quite work out the way that they needed. And also, cheers for the early morning laugh in Auckland, New Zealand. I love the Cape Town Stadium background. Says Cassie there as well. Yeah, it's very nice. I mean, the hills in the background is beautiful. That is, I'm going to need to pick 3 games on Saturday just to keep saying 5 games to get into, says Hangarat. And also, they did well. Proud of the world champions. Says reality always wins. At the moment, Sia Khaleesi actually crossing the try line for himself, which is pretty impressive for him in this game. But Eben Etzebeth, huge performance from him for his 100th test match. He certainly showed that he could still go for another 50 caps if he needed to in that lock-in department for the Boks. But I think we are almost at the end of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back in just under 2 hours' time for Argentina versus Scotland. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it is hugely appreciated you guys all being here for these live streams in the middle of the night. We're currently 5:15 a.m. in New Zealand. I've just realized I could easily talk for a good 2 hours, but I don't think I should, because it might end up driving you guys slightly insane. I would love to be able to actually watch the Springboks play rugby matches, but that does not happen if you don't have DSTV, and it does suck. I feel like a while ago we talked about it. If there is going to be a sellout crowd, they should have the game free to air in South Africa to watch it, just to get to see your boys going at it. Definitely the third test, the decider, would have been awesome to see on free to air, and also drink plenty for this, or drink plenty of this for the final game, and there with the coffee and the milk and also power nap, says RJJ. Nah, I think I'm going to do some editing. Actually got to work on some clips for George, so I think I'm going to end up doing those in the little spell and then getting straight back into it for the next match. And later, Max says Hangarat. And there, but unless, thank you all very much for tuning in. I was going to play another song to take us out, but I think instead I will say thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for South Africa, Argentina, Scotland, Argentina in 2